Hello and welcome to the 10,000 subscribers special, the question and answer session with Meme and Ezio. We asked you for anything on your minds, and I can't wait to see what you've all submitted. Alright, first question. Minecarft Let's Play when? Alright. Second question. Minecarft Let's Play when? Minecarft Let's Play, Minecarft, when Ezio, when will you stop never having done a Minecraft obligatory Minecraft Let's Play? Any comments on your television Minecraft? Sir, 5 hills, alright, when's the first Minecraft Let's Play? You can do this easily, I promise you dragon, and I love Minecraft Let's Play. Excuse me, could you please direct me? When would Minecraft Let's Play with you coffee? Oh, thank God, there's one from Oliver here. That'll get things back on track.
Oliver Lug asks, video idea, Meme and Ezio, Minecraft Let's Play. Actually, hold on, sorry. Video idea, Meme and Ezio, Minecraft Let's Play.
Alright, you know what? Sure. Well, today we are going to be answering your questions that you've submitted to us while playing Minecraft. On popular demand. I'm sure this is something that will absolutely thrill Ezio. Hi, Ezio.
Hi. Yep, definitely. Very excited. Much Minecraft. Wow.
Yeah, so can you tell me just how much experience you have with Minecraft?
Yeah, so I played Minecraft back in the beta, back when it was free. And I think this was probably 15 years ago. And I haven't opened it ever since. So I have some idea of how things work, right? Everything is a cube. You chop down a tree, you make a bench, you go find diamonds, you are done.
Yeah.
That's my understanding of the game.
Well, looking around, you may notice that I have a gravestone over here from being killed already. We are playing on the 7doc server, which is the server run by the people who ran 7doc, the however many players it was, 157 player diplomacy game. And it's based on the map from that diplomacy game. So you can see over here to the east, there's Russia and Turkey. Over here to the north, there'll be Austria. We start in Camelot. Notably, they decided to turn on double mob spawns in this. So there'll be twice as many monsters, which I'm sure will be nice for you to have your first Minecraft experience in 15 years with.
Oh yeah, a zombie spawned. I don't know if you were recording this, but like a zombie spawned and killed me a bunch. While I was waiting for you to come in.
Yeah, I was not recording that, sadly. But I have a feeling that the viewers will see plenty of that regardless, especially looking around us at the moment. I'm wondering whether we should just stand here and answer questions for a bit, because if we venture out, I think we're going to die.
Yeah, do you know what's going on with these signs? Like, I want to go see what's up with Constantinople.
Yeah, we can absolutely go to Constantinople. So we spawned in Camelot. This area is Camelot, and each individual province on the diplomacy map is a different biome, so it will look slightly different, or very different in some cases. You will note Camelot is a bit of a swamp. I believe your home biome is like mountainous forest.
Sounds great.
Yeah, mine is like nice plains and stuff, but mine is a long way away, so we can go.
This one says south, right? And I'm pretty sure Carmelon was south. Or Constantinople was south of Carmelon.
Yeah. I will say I don't love our chances of actually making it there during the night, but we can try.
This is Minecraft. What can kill us?
Quite a lot. You know what? We'll just see what happens with that. I'm already seeing Ezio running away from a creeper and like 3 zombies. Oh my god. You are speeding away from me. We have not answered any questions yet. So I will...
Yeah.
ask the first one while attempting not to die. How did Meme and Ezio meet? Okay.
You want to take this one?
I absolutely can if you're busy trying not to die.
I can take it. We both played on web diplomacy.
That is
And
true.
that's basically just it.
Yeah, but also, I think we only really got to know each other after playing Mafia on web diplomacy, right? I was like, aware I'm absolutely going to die here. You know what, I'm just gonna wait for you to die and come back and answer the question while I'm here. There we go. Welcome back. Yeah, so I was aware of you, and I assume you were aware of me as well before that point, but I think we only started directly playing together when we were playing in the forum Mafia games, which had like a much smaller community than any of the rest. So, yeah. And through that, we actually got into a Discord server, which was again quite a close-knit community, and that's more or less how we stayed in touch for a while. All right.
Yeah, that Discord had like 10 people on it.
Yes. All right. So, second question here: have you two ever met in person? If so, what was it like hanging out in real life with someone you've only known online for years? Do you want to go ahead?
Yeah, so we met up at Oxford, the World Diplomacy Championship, I think 2016?
2017, right? I think, but yes.
17? Sure. But yeah, so we met up at Oxford. Actually, a couple of people from this same online Discord were there. A couple of them were British, so it made it very easy for them to go. And then it was the World Diplomacy Championship, so I was excited to go see it and play. And so we met up there, and it was just pretty great.
Yeah.
We played a lot of diplomacy. We played a lot of things that weren't diplomacy.
I think my favorite memory from that tournament is still playing Q with you. That was hilarious.
Yeah, no, that was definitely games of Q that I have played.
Yep. Very high level Q.
I was definitely playing my A game.
Yep. Alright, we appear to still be alive somehow. Alright, so, what inspired you to make the DiploStrats YouTube channel in the first place? Have you both been a channel from the start, or did one of you join along the way? Okay, well, part of this I will start off with, because, rip. I'm gonna get a mushroom here. Because, yes, I started the, DiploStrats channel back in 2016? I think it was 2016. Where have you gone? Ah, you're over there again.
I died?
Okay, yeah. I died too, so I'm back here. And it was really just because I watched an absolute ton of YouTube and played a lot of diplomacy, right? There were other people who were doing diplomacy-type stuff on YouTube. People like Triumvir and HistoryGamer.com. HistoryGamer.com sadly deleted his YouTube channel and all his videos, so they are not available anymore, but you can still find Triumvir 412 online. I really liked what they were doing, and I felt like I'd copy it. I started off with, like, the idea that I was going to make these strategy videos and stuff, and I quickly found out that I am not good at writing scripts, or, like, making myself stick to that commitment. So I made, like, 3 puzzle videos and then didn't do anything for ages. And then, what, maybe 3 years later? 2 years later? Something like that? God. We are getting destroyed here. I decided it would be quite cool to commentate the World Diplomacy Championship. So I set that up, like, I made sure that I didn't get spoiled on the results. I asked a friend to get the game sandbox on Backstabber. And then asked in that Mafia Discord channel, hey, does anyone want to commentate this with me? And Ezio, you were the person who showed up, right?
The only one, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that was very cool, though. I think you have been, like, the perfect addition to it.
It's pretty great.
But yeah, that was really... I feel like that was really the start of the channel. Prior to that point, it had really just been... Like, if you go to the channel and sort by oldest videos, I would not recommend doing it. The oldest ones are not great. And it was really when we started doing the commentary stuff that we found Austria. And the whole being able to just chat with someone as opposed to trying to script something is just a lot easier to do. Oh my god, it's a baby zombie. Alright. This is really not going very well.
Find Constantinople eventually.
Okay, the quest for Constantinople can hopefully begin now because it is daytime, so most of the mobs will burn to death. A notable exception is creepers. They stay alive during the day, so be careful of those. They will blow up and kill you.
How about the spiders? Looks like that thing's staying alive.
So those aren't hostile during the day, so you should be okay with... Alright. Right, so, next question. Now that Meme is moving to the States, do you plan on doing any future IRL games with the two of you? Okay, so this is something I need to mention. The channel is going on hiatus for a little bit, and that is because I'm moving to the United States. If you're in the Discord server, you will already know this. There's been an announcement about it a little while ago. But I'm moving there to get married and stuff. So, very cool. And of course it means that we're not going to be quite as far away from each other as we were before. Although I don't think we're massively close to one another either, right?
Yeah, for context, CaptainMeme is moving to Texas. I live in California. So, yeah, we're not exactly a day trip away.
Yeah, but it is much more feasible that we managed to get on the same real-life board, or to the same real-life tournament.
And I think it's much more plausible that, like, I go to some game on the East Coast that you also go to, so...
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm looking forward to that. I would absolutely love that. Okay, so, this is another one for me. How are you feeling about your move to America? Anything you appreciate, anything you miss? I was technically grouping these questions by, like, these first ones were supposed to be about DiploStrats, but given the America thing came up, I stuck this question with it. I'm obviously a bit nervous given the current climate around everything in America, but I'm also super excited. It's gonna be a big change, and also I'm finally getting to move in with my partner, which is something that's been a long time in the making. I'm really looking forward to it. Anything I appreciate about America, the amount of space you guys have is insane. That might be a Texas-specific thing, though. That's certainly a big difference. One of the...
Yeah, America in general has that. We have a lot more space. But we do have big cities, and things are pretty tight in there, but, like, our suburbs compared to the British suburbs are crazy.
Yeah. But on that same note, and probably for that same reason, one of the things I most miss is just being able to walk places. You can't really do that in Texas. And not least because it's too hot to, most of the time, but also because everything is so far away all the time. It's insane. But yeah, really looking forward to it. Right. Let's move on to questions about the two of us, which is still in the DiploStrats category, but there's a whole bunch of these of various flavors. The first one is one I think you wanted to answer, specifically. Let's finally decide, who is stabbier, Meme or Ezio?
Oh yeah, I mean the answer is definitely Meme, and it's not even a question.
Do you want to give your reasoning?
Meme stabs people and, like, claims he's not stabbing them, and, like, he stabs his allies all the time and is super scared all the time, and it's, like, very paranoid stabbing, whereas I will stab people in pursuit of winning the game myself. But I work with my allies, and the two of us will get big and win.
I mean, you're not wrong. I feel like... see, I'm gonna counter that a little bit. I feel like you do stab just as much as me. It's just that people generally see your stabs as more reasonable than mine. Because they're not quite as all over the place. I tend to pivot a lot when I stab people, whereas you go for the, like, very effective stabs on the on the one person you've been working with at the right time, right?
Yeah, I like make it a huge point to try to get my ally in position that I can't stab them. Right, I love doing that. But I won't just be like, oh, my ally's having a good game, and I guess I need to stab them now. Because, like, I think maybe I sabotage my ally more than you, so I never let them get into that good of a position. So it's, like, more annoying, like, subtle stuff, or I'm not sure exactly, but I don't know, I rarely have these feelings where, like, oh, my ally is doing well, I have to stab them now.
Yeah. That's pretty fair, I think. I can't really argue with that. I think that does make me the stabbier person.
Okay.
It does actually...
Sorry, unrelated to the question. So, one, do I have any way of telling where I am? Because I hit some water, and I kind of think this is probably Constantinople, but also I have no idea.
Okay, so there are a few... Like, Minecraft is a bit weird in some ways. The best way you have of telling exactly where you are is your coordinates, which you can access with F3. Sorry. But yeah, you can see it's a bit all over the place. It's specifically the coordinates on the, like, second paragraph, at the top of the second paragraph on the left. X, Y, Z.
See, yep.
Whereabouts are you in that respect?
201, 71, 424.
Oh my god, okay, I need to go a long way. Alright, I will come to you.
Okay, I also want to eat something. Can I make a fire and cook?
Sorry, the grey mountain that has the grey trees on it, that's Constantinople. If you can see that.
Yeah, I'm, like, on that.
Yes. Yeah, so you've
I'm
made
on the
it to
coastal part of it. Sweet. Yeah, that's what I thought. Why are my trees, like, not single sticks?
I don't know.
These trees are, like, 3x3s. They're crazy.
They added a lot of biomes to this game since I played, I think.
But also, like, what's up with the wood? They're, like, excuse me, not wood, the dirt or something? Like, I'm used to there being, like, stone and stuff.
I mean, there is stone too. You might need to dig a bit to get the stone.
Alright, now let's see if I can find...
Oh, there you go.
Here we go. I found stone. Now let's see if I can find, torch material, right? It's like, what, 2 sticks? Oh, I need coal, right, to make a torch?
Yeah. So...
Wait, is there already... Oh, there's light down here. What the hell? How is there light in this?
There might be lava?
Oh, I don't see any lava. It looks like... It's like a... It looks like maybe redstone, but, like, it's not redstone.
Okay. Huh. I have no clue. I still haven't found you, so,
Oh, I, like, went down into a thing to go look for stone and coal, and I think I found iron, maybe? This looks like iron.
The brown material in the wall will be iron.
I think this is like tin. Assuming this is the same iron as it was back in the day, I'm pretty sure this will be iron.
Okie dokie. Well,
maybe there's also copper. Is that a material they added?
I don't think. Well, maybe it is. I don't know that much about modern Minecraft. This is gonna be such a terrible thing to watch. God. Alright, well, you all asked for it, so you can't blame us for being terrible in this game. Anyway, I will continue exploring Constantinople myself while you are doing your diggy trip down there.
Yeah. So, question: I need to eat, right? So,
Yes.
how do I need to like cook food? I think that's a thing that exists in modern Minecraft, right?
Yeah. So your best route on that will be to find an animal above ground, kill it, and then
Yeah, I killed a cow and I have meat.
okay, then you can eat the raw meat, but you would be better finding coal and using that.
Okay, I have coal. What do I do with it?
Oh, perfect. Okay, then you need a furnace, which is 9...
Oh, that's for...
sorry, it's 8.
It's 8, yeah, right.
Yeah.
The circle, yeah.
And then you put down the furnace, and you put a coal in it, and you heat up the meat.
Oh, I cook it like it's an... Okay, I'm smelting.
Yes, yeah, exactly. I do realize it is nearly nighttime again, so I'm going to quickly make an area that they cannot get into. We really need to get beds. Also,
You have to, like, get feathers for beds, right? You have to, like, kill chickens and stuff?
Wool from sheep, but yes. Alright, so, in the meantime, next question. Who is better at diplomacy, CaptainMeme or Ezio?
CaptainMeme.
I'm not sure that's true, but I think I do have...
Results speak for themselves.
I do have better results.
And that's all that matters.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's the only objective way to say who's better at diplomacy, right? Like, CaptainMeme has done better in tournaments than I have, so therefore he's better.
Yeah, like, I feel like it's specifically because, like, your playstyle should work better in theory. People
yeah,
just...
but I'm not as good at it.
I don't know whether that's true either. I think I tend to do well despite my playstyle, rather than because of it. Because people get endeared to me a little bit during the game, which is a very useful thing.
Diplomacy, like, press is the main part, right? And you are good at talking to people and, like, not pissing them off and being active and staying active and doing all the good things. Like, that's why you're good at diplomacy.
I think people in my recent games will maybe take issue with you saying that I stay active, because I have a habit of not necessarily being the most active player in the game.
Okay, but, like, you've also been trying to move, right? Your life's going through a whole lot, so, I mean...
Yeah, I can use that as an excuse. That's perfect.
Yeah. Plus, like, look, I'm playing in some beginner games, right? I'm mentoring in a beginner game. Shout out to the beginner game. And, like, I see what... I'm reminded what low activity looks like. And this beginner game is one of the more active beginner games. But it's just like having an understanding of what activity looks like. Right? Like what high level activity means is just, you know what that means. And so you know how much work you have to put in. What the heck is andesite?
Oh, that's just the type of stone that you can't use as stone. I don't know why it's in the game. I think it's just aesthetics.
Well, that's obnoxious. Alright, so I have my furnace.
Congratulations.
I'm gonna put my raw beef in the furnace. We take my coal, we slap it in there. Alright, I have raw iron too, so I'm also gonna smelt that, and then I'm gonna get my iron thing. Is there anything between iron and diamond, or now that I have iron, it's just go find diamond and call it a day?
I think gold, but I don't think you actually want to make... like,
oh, gold? Yeah, gold is better, right? But isn't gold even better than diamond? It just, like, doesn't last long enough?
I don't know that that's true. I think it's better than iron, but doesn't last long enough. But yeah, I don't...
but worse than diamond still? Okay.
Yeah. But iron will be able to get you diamonds, so... if your objective is just to get diamond, you can head on down now.
Yeah, I mean, that's mostly all I'm doing. And I'm smelting my iron to make iron stuff.
Yeah, I am hiding in a hidey hole in the mountain while I'm waiting for it to be daylight again.
How do I drop stuff?
So I think Q will throw away whatever you're holding, or you can press E to go to your inventory, left click on it, and then click outside the inventory box.
Q is perfect, thank you.
Okay. Right. Which one of you is the smart one?
Is this what, like smart one versus hot one? Because meme's definitely the hot one.
Oh boy. Certainly in terms of diplomacy play, I feel like that lines up, right? I get away with things
Also
because of charisma,
SO.
and your strategies are objectively much smarter than my ones.
Ooh, I do see rock hopper. Alright, let me smelt some of this.
Alright. Oh, yeah, and we get to relevant question here. Why does CaptainMeme generally have a better in-game reputation than Ezio? Do other players during a game have preference for balance of power players?
Okay, one thing you guys need to know. Meme's reputation in the diplomacy scene is not balance of power. Meme is not a balance of power player in the diplomacy scene. just I need to make that very clear. That's not him.
I do use balance of power as an excuse to justify things quite a lot. How best to answer this one? Because I do have a better in-game reputation than you most of the time, right? And we see that despite the objective proof at various points. Like, in Chaos games and whatnot, people will trust me over you, even though you've had a track record of, like, sticking with your alliance and working through with it all the way to the end. People will still trust me more, or at least try and throw out that you're more likely to stab, right?
Yeah, I think it's relevant to talk about like what in-game community then. Like if we're talking about the games that are in like the DiploStrats Discord and on the recent online stuff, then I mean that just chalked up to how we've described and talked about ourselves, right? And how we've definitely pitched you as balance of power. Right, and like honest, and like you're the one who's done more of the just commentary, and so because of how we act on DiploStrats, I think that has affected how like the online community sees us. I was thinking more of the like in-person diplomacy with like other people who like know us, right?
Oh right, yeah.
And like in that diplomacy context, right? Everyone knows you're just a savvy player.
Yes.
Right.
Everyone hates playing with me in person. It's so funny.
Yeah, so it's just like yeah, one of them is very much we can just chalk it up to, yeah, we've in fact made commentary and it's had its goal where now people think about us the way that we want them to think about us. Because we control the microphones.
I think it's also because the way that I play, in terms of the balance of power thing, right? It also lines up quite well with making me the good guy in a lot of stories about the situation. Like, if you're teaming up with the strong guy and beating up all the weak ones, it's very hard to make that into a story where you are the good guy. And that's what you're doing most of the time in games.
Oh,
right?
Almost always, yes.
Yeah. Whereas if you are, someone's becoming big and scary and is beating up all these small powers, and you go in on a great charge that isn't actually going to achieve anything, but at least saves the small powers a little bit, right? Or makes them friendly with you, that looks like you're the good guy. Even if it makes no sense, right?
Yeah, that's fair.
That is what I do a fair amount of the time. So I think that's why I come across a little bit better quite often, even though what I'm doing is absolutely not.
Are swords better or axes better?
Swords, I think.
Okay.
Speaking of which, I need new tools. Right. So, next question. Where did C.Take. originate from? I don't actually know the answer to this.
Neither do I, man. It's just like, it's just a natural state of being.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like how stuff's supposed to work. Right? Like, why does the rain fall from the sky? Where does gravity work? It is. Don't question it.
I mean, if anyone is watching our old stuff and can find the earliest time that Ezio says C.Take., let me know. I think it is an Ezioism, right? It came from you in the first place. It's
Oh,
not that
yeah.
you've
I had never
stolen
heard anybody say that before I came up with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely that's a me thing. So, y'all are welcome.
Yeah. And soon we will have legions of C.Take players following in your stead.
I'm really happy that that will be my legacy. I'm digging down, but I found dirt. That's weird, right?
It's a bit odd. I don't know. I think sometimes dirt just randomly appears in places.
Well, this is more than like a little bit of dirt. This is like a whole lot of dirt. It's like found like yeah, this is weird to me. Oh, you know why? It's probably because I jumped down from a mountain, right? And it was like yeah, it was a mountain, but then below the mountain there's just dirt at the elevation. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, C.Take dot. I'm pretty sure nobody else said that, and then I said it, and it's great.
Yep, it is an Ezioism. We joke a lot about balance of power, but is it actually a relevant / good strategy? Do you sacrifice tempo to make balance of power work? Is balance of power a lie? So I don't know Ezio's opinion on this, but I think it absolutely can be a strong strategy. I just tend to employ it in situations where it's not. If you look at, like, tournament top boards, that's probably where it comes into play the most. It's where you have a timed situation where you don't have the time to work with a specific player for long enough that the two of you can pull far ahead of everyone else, right? It's where you have to be scrapping and dragging people down so that you have a chance of popping up on top afterwards.
Yeah, balance of power is absolutely viable.
Yeah.
Like, balance of power is a real strategy. For beginner players, I'm going to caution everyone and say that you're probably doing it too much. Like, balance of power is a small part of your game, and your priority should be to further your own position, not necessarily growth, but often your own growth and your own potential for growth, rather than trying to hurt someone else. It's a 7-person game. If you spend too much time messing with one specific opponent instead of your own, and someone else is growing by focusing on themselves, you're going to have a bad position. So your priority needs to be yourself. Sometimes, though, due to the nature of the game, you just actually have to go stop the board leader, right? Like that definitely happens. So you can't ignore the board leader, but also don't do it too much.
I think I can't say that any better. That is a very, very good advice. Probably the biggest problem I like with my own mentoring in that sense is that I encourage it way too much. So if you're looking for me for diplomacy advice, especially in the commentaries, that is something to keep in mind. Like, follow Ezio's strategy, it's much better for a newer player. And honestly, still better for a not newer player as well a lot of the time, but hey. Alright, will there be press analysis ever? I would like to improve my press a little bit, and at least in my research, I haven't really found a guide on how to do that. Okay, I would strongly recommend watching the Media Wars videos if you are interested in press analysis. So going through individual messages is a really tough thing to do in a commentary where you're kind of bantering back and forth, because it already takes so long to do it, to go through the tactics, right? That we'll never really have time to do that, I think. I don't know if you have the same opinion there, Ezio.
It's tough. Like, there's this mentoring game going on. Shoutouts again to the ImpTip Discord for making this happen. And in that game, I am explicitly mentoring someone and going through press with them and just talking to them through absolutely everything. So if they fire another one of these, try to see if you can hop in. And if you want to see people talking about press, you can join that game and look at the analysis that the experienced players are saying, because they will have analysis for you that you can read, and it's not explicitly your own. The other thing I will say, though, you don't need other people to tell you what to do about your press, man. Just read your own game and pay attention to it, and, like, be thoughtful about your press. Look at what you said, look at how they responded, and then be like, oh, did I actually say the right things here? Or was this wrong, right? Did I say a thing that was effective and got my ally, enemy, whomever to do the thing that I wanted, or did I not? And if you just do that analysis yourself, you'll get a lot better. A lot of people just, I don't think, look back on their press afterwards, and they never analyze the same way that they analyze their moves, and so that's why it can be hard. And it can feel weird because, like, it is a subjective thing, right? Like, was this a good message to send? But, like, that's also part of why it's so important to do your own analysis of yourself. Because if I tell you what you should send, then you're going to end up sounding more like me. And, I mean, I think that's a great thing, but I doubt you'll think that's a great thing. So, be careful.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think also, yeah, looking at the Mentors game is a great idea. I'll link it in the description, the server to that.
Yeah.
I don't know how often they'll happen, but they probably will happen every so often. I'd imagine, so you might be able to get into that. In terms of press analysis on the channel, I think it's unlikely to happen outside of, like, video journals like Media Wars, where we're analyzing from the game from our own perspective as it's going on, right? Because in that situation, it's much easier to cover minutiae like that, just because it's happening while you're talking about it.
Also, I will say, taking press and, like, posting it in the Discord and just getting other people to talk about it's also great. Right? It's not going to be necessarily from me and CaptainMeme, although if there's commentary in the channel, I pop in relatively frequently. But, like, having other people and just seeing what their opinions are is also great. So just hop the Discord and just start talking and be like, hey, was this the right message to send? Should I have done the thing or not? Like, yada yada. That's a great space for it.
Absolutely. And our Discord is always open to questions like that. There's a lot of helpful people around. So, yeah, I would say go ahead and hop in. Alright, on the same note, are you planning on more Media Wars games? I'll admit the live commentary is one of my favourite styles, even though I'm sure it takes forever to record. Absolutely. It might be a while off, because of the whole movement thing, unless Ezio wants to take the lead on one. I don't know if you do. But,
probably not. Media Wars took, like, a lot of work, man.
Yeah, but I am absolutely looking to do another one at some point in the future. Once my life has sort of calmed down a little bit, I will do so. Speaking of which, if you are a budding content creator for Diplomacy, even if you haven't done much, or if you're only just starting to do stuff, feel free to reach out on that front, because I'm always happy to feature new players who want to, or new content creators who want to play something like Media Wars in the Media Wars games. It would be great to have more new faces on that front. Alright. So, next question. How do you two decide which games to cast? I guess that's a me question, because Ezio, you're not involved in that as often? Although you are involved in deciding which of your own games to cast, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. On that note, in terms of your own games, which one, like, what makes you make the decision on which one of those to bring forward?
There's a lot. The first thing, obviously, an important one is, like, did I do well? Am I proud of this game? Like, I'm much more likely to post a game that I did well than I am a game that I did terribly.
Mm-hmm.
So that is, it's not the only thing, but that is a factor, right? I'm not going to pretend that I'm equally likely to post a game where I get eliminated. But it's not the only thing. I care a lot about games that are reasonably quality. where like um if I'm analyzing a game and it's like the entire game boils down to, oh, this like one person was bad, and then that kind of just did everything, and like it's not even like an interesting like, oh, this other person exploited them well, and then but it was just, this is a beginner game where like a bunch of people didn't know the moves and like they're misloading the whole time and stuff. I'm not gonna commentate that game. So like high level games are a big deal to me. I like commentating the best. A large part because I like commentating because I like analyzing them, and I like analyzing the best, because that's how I get better. So that's a big part. Then like interesting storylines, right? Being able, like, if you see someone get ahead and then they like don't end up winning the game, that's always a huge plus for me because you get to see the board team up and like you get to see people get their comeuppance, and that can be fun to like see how it goes about. Um, I don't know.
Yeah.
What else? Those are big ones.
That seems...
How about you, Mean? What do you look for?
So, that... I've never seen a wolf like that before. Huh. I hope
Are you
that's
still
not
in like the overworld?
I am. I have, I'm not going to be able to get back to my little hut in time, so I guess I'm going to make a new one here.
Oh, I have no idea what daytime it is. That's fun. I like being down here.
Yeah, so in terms of the games that I pick to commentate, which is, like, if we're not commentating a game that's, that's one of our own ones, it's usually because I've chosen it, because I'm the one who tends to get these things ready. Generally, I'll prioritize the diplomacy tournaments, right? Things like Olympus, things like Nexus, just anything that's very high level and that people would be interested in. I have considered in the past, like, doing viewer submitted games, and I think there's another question in the future about whether we do those in future. It's absolutely something that I'd consider. The problem is, when I'm looking at it, I do want to be looking at it and think, is this commentary going to be about, like, building these players up, or is it going to be about dunking on them, right? And it's kind of fine to dunk on players who are sufficiently high level when they do something dumb, because they'll probably also be like, oh, that was a bit dumb. But hey, you know, they'll understand that as well, and
It's also different when they're better than us at diplomacy.
Yeah,
Right? Like,
exactly.
when I insult someone's move and they're better than me at diplomacy, they just like roll their eyes at me and then are like, "Yeah, you do better next time, asshole." And then it's like I sort of shrug and look sheepish. Whereas like a lot of you guys got into diplomacy because of us, and it feels really weird to then go and like talk smack about moves that you guys did.
Yeah, exactly, right. And I know there's a fair number of people who would just say, "Ah, that's fine. I'd like you to commentate the games anyway," and that's awesome. And honestly, like, I had a really great time commentating the Veilfisk videos that we did, and that is kind of along the same lines, because obviously they're not at the professional levels that we usually look at, but they still.
But we also know that they're masochists. So
yeah, that's exactly it. They're very happy to put themselves. They're all very happy to put themselves out there for, you know, that the kind of content they usually do is sort of like, they'll probably be okay with this, right?
yeah.
So I'd say that's slightly different. So usually I would just look for specifically tournament games. Maybe if absolutely...
Plus, like, it's the cachet, right? Like, we like to commentate the grand finals, the world championships, the blah, 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 right? Those get the clicks, man.
Yeah, absolutely. That too. So yeah, this has been a bit of a rambly answer, but in short, generally we'll try and commentate high-level games. There might be situations where we'd be up for commentating non-high-level games, but I think the bar for those is much higher because we have to have, you know, things to talk about that aren't criticizing the players. Or criticizing what they're doing specifically. Alright, so, what are your plans for the DiploStrats channel going forward, and what are your goals for the channel? The channel hasn't really ever been about goals, right? It's just been a thing that we do and then put on there and hope people enjoy. So, I don't know that... So, I mean, we're kind of looking more into a sort of situation where we might be... sorry, I messed the phrase up completely. We're sort of looking into formalizing a little bit more, considering we might open a Patreon maybe when I'm settled in the US, stuff like that. So looking forward, we'd love it, obviously, if people would support our work. We'd love to offer stuff in return for that. So doing generally a little bit more, maybe Media Wars style stuff, where I'm uploading those commentaries live on the Patreon, and then they get merged into a video and put up later on the channel. Stuff like that is stuff we're looking at. Oh my god. Who am I being attacked by? Ah! I forgot spiders can climb. Oh no. This is really bad.
Sorry. Is there any better way to find stuff in the, like, in a mountain than just, like, dig around?
Great question. I don't know the answer.
Alright, I'm gonna Google how to find diamonds Minecraft.
Alrighty. Well, anyway, yes, so in terms of goals for the channel, we would quite like to sort of open up a Patreon and figure out a good way to do that. So if people have ideas for that, join the Discord and talk about it. We'd love to hear them. But that won't be for a little while yet. For the moment, the goal is the same as always, which is just to make stuff that we like making, and hopefully people enjoy that stuff, right? And it's worked so far, so we'll keep doing it.
Okay, the problem is that I haven't gotten deep enough. I need to get to the Y level of -58, because that's where diamonds are most common.
Oh boy. Alright.
What the hell is enchantment?
Don't bother with that. That's not gonna happen anytime soon.
But it says if I enchant it with Fortune 3, I have a higher chance of finding diamond.
Yeah, but to make an enchantment table, I think you already need diamonds, so...
Well, that's a catch-22 now, isn't it?
Alright, what do you hope will be the legacy of your channel? I don't know if you have any thoughts on that, Ezio?
Or people playing diplomacy.
Yeah.
Like, every time I go to an in-person event and I hear people talk about how they got into this game because of DiploStrats, I get so happy inside. It's just like, that's why I love doing this, right? It's to commentate for new players to get in here, so that way they can watch and have a great time. And like, that's... Yeah, more people playing diplomacy, a more vibrant scene, just that's what I'm looking for.
Absolutely. Yeah, I will answer exactly the same on that one. Oh my god, there's another spider. No! No!
Uh-huh.
Okay, I will have to find my stuff again. I'm just gonna stay here for the moment, because I don't trust myself to make it in the dark. Alright. But yes, I completely agree. I would love it to introduce more people to diplomacy. And just to... The nice thing about YouTube, I really hope YouTube will be there for a very long time. You can never know with websites, right? But as long as it's there for... I mean, it's controlled by Google, so it's probably going to be there for a very long time. They don't have that much reason to take it down. But as long as those videos can just stay there, people can just watch them forever, right? So anything we put into it now, people will be able to find in however many years and hopefully benefit from. That's very cool. Alright. So, have you ever had the inclination to cover... I know I mispronounce this word horribly every time I say it. Kriegspale? Kriegspale?
Those ones, yeah.
Yep. On this channel. The answer to that is yes. I got into a Craigsbale game specifically to cover it on DiploStrats. I joined their tutorial after I watched the Super Bunny Hop video on it. For those who aren't aware, Craigsbale is like a much older war game than Diplomacy. It's one that like the Prussian army used to play, I think. And yeah, I joined a team. We did a lot of talking. We invaded an island, and they shut the tutorial game down when we were the last team on the island. Like, everyone else left. There was no one else there, and they were like, "Okay, well, we're done. I guess we're ending your time there." So I was the last team that joined that tutorial, sadly, and we didn't actually get to do all that much outside of one battle. But I did kind of find that it wasn't my thing. I think there's a bit of a misconception that Diplomacy is quite similar to these kind of war games. And in reality, it's not. It's much more of a, like, social negotiation game with a war backdrop than any kind of war game. So there'll be plenty of players who enjoy both. I think people who enjoy war games absolutely often enjoy Diplomacy and vice versa, but at least for me, it wasn't really in my wheelhouse very much. I don't know if that's similar for you, Ezio, if you've tried anything similar.
I haven't gotten into these games. There have been a couple of times people have asked, and like I've been interested in joining one, but I'm generally less of a fan than CaptainMeme of the like let's just do stuff that neither one of us have any idea what's going on in them. Like I like putting stuff on the channel that I am comfortable that I am at least good at, right? Like Diplomacy, right? Something that I'm pretty good at the game, right? So I'm going to talk about it and happy to talk about it. But like, I'm not gonna put anything up on the channel unless I think that like I know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah. I think it also that kind of reflects our different attitudes towards games in general. I think you try and be skilled, like you try and make sure that you're skillful in games that you play, right?
Yeah, that's definitely true.
Yeah, whereas I'm a lot more like I'm here for fun a lot of the time. So I'm very happy to be worse at a game as long as I'm experiencing it, and I'm kind of happy to just share the story of that game even if my performance in it was absolutely rubbish and I don't know what I'm talking about, right? Whereas I think you'd see a bit less value in putting something like that up.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Alright. Other than Diplomacy, what are some other things you'd be interested in making videos about? Curious as to your answer on this one, if you have any.
Oh crap! Give me a sec.
Were you digging straight down by any chance?
Nope, I was not digging straight down. Alright, I have successfully locked myself into a nice little cubbyhole where I will not die.
Okay.
Question, will creepers explode if there's like only a 1 block gap but they can't see you?
I don't think they will. But if they can
great.
see you, they will, so don't open up that gap again.
That's great. To be clear, I can't see any creepers right now. And I didn't before, but I encountered a very weird biome that is underground.
Oh, interesting. What
are bad guys?
What does it look like?
I will share my screen.
Oh boy, okay. Hang on. No.
It is... Which screen? Entire screen. This screen. To be clear, I was mining one space in front of me. I just happened to be holding down the W key.
Okay. Well, I tried watching your stream and it's just on a pause menu.
What?
I think it might be just Minecarft doesn't work well with Discord streaming, perhaps?
Yeah, there might be an issue because I'm streaming it and OBS at the same time. This should be my entire thing. Is it still on that pause screen?
Don't worry about it. Just do your own thing, and I'll be able to tell you in post when I look at your recording.
Yeah, I just like there's like a bunch of like leaves falling from the ceiling. It looks like, and then like a waterfall and stuff. But like, there's also some lava nearby. There's some. It's like it's not on the. It's like I'm on the surface now, but I was drilling down to get here.
I mean,
Maybe
it
I'm
sounds
just on
like
the surface again.
it sounds like something I have no idea of. Like I think they added quite a lot into. Ooh, okay. I think they added quite a lot into the caverns in particular in a recent update, and I haven't really looked at that much of what got affected. So,
all right, the next question.
I wish you
how to heal?
You need to eat until you have, I think, less than 2 of the meat bar things missing on your hunger bar, and then you'll start healing up.
That's great. Good news. I found diamonds.
Okay. Are you going to attempt to escape with the diamonds, or are you just going to, like, die?
Obviously.
Alright.
Munch, munch, munch. I eat this. Alright, I'm back to full... Ooh, that's great. I heal quite quickly.
That's amazing. Oh, you got
diamonds.
the
Alright.
diamonds advanced.
There was only one? Oh, come on!
Are you sure there's nothing linked?
Oh. There was 1 diamond, there's some lapis lazuli, there's some gold, and there's some iron ingots.
Fantastic. Okay, well.
And there was one diamond. Alright.
Rip.
Oh, but my inventory's all full. God dang it. Alright. Let me drop
Time to
this
throw out nonsense. I'm surprised that you have food where you are.
Oh, I killed beef at the surface, and beef lasts for a while.
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
If I eat rotten flesh, what happens?
You will gain a little bit of hunger, and it will poison you, and you'll lose more hunger over time. So don't.
Okay, so it's not worth it.
Unless you need like some short-term healing. It looks like
I think
you just
my
left the
Minecraft
game.
crashed.
Okay.
Yeah, my Minecraft just crashed.
Okay, well, while we wait for you to rejoin, we can answer more questions. So, other than diplomacy, what are some other things you'd be interested in making videos about? Did you have an answer to this one?
Yeah, StarCraft.
Games that I play that I'm relatively confident about.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah. In terms of, like, on the DiploStrats channel specifically, my answer to this is gonna continue to be mega games. Because I absolutely love mega games. I'm kind of obsessed with them at the moment. But I am actually making those videos at the moment, so you will hopefully see them at some point in future. Yeah. Right. How much have the 2 of you made from tournaments, or from YouTube, if you're willing to share that?
Tournaments, I believe the answer is $0.00 combined.
Yes.
Connection lost?
Oh.
Internal exception, java.net socket exception.
Man, it really doesn't want you to get those diamonds.
Because I just found more. I'm about to have a diamond pickaxe. Oh, no, actually, because the diamond that I dropped, it didn't load into my inventory, but the block is gone.
Oh, no.
Oh, wait, hold up. Let me make sure that my OBS is still recording.
Okie dokie.
Looks like it is. Yeah, okay, OBS is fine. But yeah, alright. Those 2 extra diamonds that I was about to pick up, that's tilting. Okay, but yeah, so CaptainMeme, Mega Games. Any other games you'd want to record for the channel?
Yeah, so, I mean, mega games are the main thing that I'm interested in doing. I was also thinking, like, it might be There was a YouTube channel that I stumbled across the other day that was...
the blocks aren't spawning anything, sorry. Like, I'm breaking diamond blocks, but they're not spawning diamonds.
That sounds like the game is glitched out a bit.
Yeah, but also, like, okay, yeah, connection lost.
Okay, I think this is when we drop out of this server and just move to my realm.
Okay.
It does mean you'll have to restart your quest for, for stuff. Hang on, let me, add you to
this. That's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah.
Because I had found the diamond. If I leave and rejoin... Okay, that time it dropped. Hold up.
Oh, did it work that time?
Yeah, I think I'm back. Maybe not. No. Alright, great.
Okay, well, I'll back out of this world then, and we'll rejoin in my realm.
Yeah. Okay. So I will click disconnect, and then you'll paste me the thing, and then I'll
go back to the main menu, click Minecarft Realms, and you should have an invite to one at the top right corner.
Okay. Actually, like the main menu, not multiplayer.
Not multiplayer. Minecarft Realms, the one just under multiplayer.
Meme is 100% Molotov free.
Yeah, this is a reference to a joke with friends, but yes. God, I can't remember what game that even came from. It was Left 4 Dead. I have a reputation for accidentally throwing Molotovs at my friends.
Accidentally?
It is accidental.
Or what I said about Meme is a stabbier player than me?
Is it? It's still connecting. I mean, Alright. So, sorry, we were going to say how much of the two of you made from tournaments or YouTube, if you're willing to share that. Right, so yes, tournaments is 0. Something that non-diplomacy players often won't know, I guess. Diplomacy tournaments don't tend to have a prize pool in any way, and I think that's for the best, because if they did, you would get people using the prize pool to negotiate. Even if there were rules against it, you'd get people using the prize pool to negotiate. Because it's diplomacy, and these are diplomacy players. And even if you didn't get that, I think people would, maybe... Like, diplomacy is the kind of quite emotionally intense game that could get pretty nasty, I think, if there's monetary incentives.
People get heated enough about games for diplomacy that are for fun, or for a teddy bear.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really want to see how heated they get if your stab costs me $100.
Yeah.
Or 1,000, or whatever. So, yeah, that's how I feel about it.
Yeah, absolutely. And it should be noted there are some pretty awesome prizes at a lot of diplomacy tournaments anyway. You can get, as Ezio said, stuffed bears are a thing at some tournaments. You can get, like, best country awards, stuff like that, and little plaques and trophies and things. I've got a little medal in the corner of my room that says worst stab on it. So, there you go.
Of course you would have an award like that, Captain. Of course.
It's from the UK Diplomacy Championship, which just happened this year as well, but mine is from last year, so yeah. There's a video on that on the channel if people want to go and see it.
And you can see the worst stab, right?
Yeah. Yes, well, at least they can see the result of it. I was kind of vlogging during the game, but it was very difficult too because people kept trying to talk to me.
Yeah, it's odd that people tried to talk to you.
Yeah.
Honestly, they should have known better.
Have you managed to get into the Minecarft game?
Oh, yeah, no, I'm in the game. Sorry, I pulled out my phone and started playing to the Spire. A real game.
Okie dokie. Are you done with Minecraft then? You found a diamond, you have you have successfully finished.
That was my stated objective, right? Find diamonds, call it a day, right?
Okay, no, you gotta find diamonds again. You didn't manage to collect any diamonds in the last one.
I did. I had a single diamond in my inventory.
I thought you said it disappeared.
No. I had the one. I found another set. Right. I was gonna have enough to make my diamond pickaxe, which was gonna let me start doing the real stuff with the diamonds, right? But then it vanished.
Okie dokie.
Like the extras were gone. So.
Well, we've got a lot more questions to cover, and
yeah, we have a billion questions still.
Yeah, so get back into Minecraft.
All right.
We gotta find more diamonds.
I'm about to kill the heart. Give me like 20 seconds. The heart's about to die.
All right. In the meantime, who do you guys consider to be the main character of your channel, and why is it me? That was sent in by someone called Main Character. Unfortunately, it is not you. Who is the main character? I mean, it's us, right? Yeah. It very much depends on what the game we're commentating is. But either way, okay. For a lot of the games, it's me. The games where I'm playing, it's certainly me. The games where you're playing, it's you. And the games where we're both commentating, I mean, it's still us, despite us not being in the game. Because you're here to listen to us talk, right?
Yeah, but even on the games that, like, I'm playing, you're the host, right? It's your channel.
Yeah, that's true.
You're the one with the connections. You're the one who knows the people. You always introduce me. You're the main character. I'm just along for the ride.
Alright, fine. Ezio has accepted his role as the sidekick, apparently.
Yep.
Alright, let me see here. How do you feel in being part of the reason there are so many new players playing Diplomacy?
Incredibly happy.
Yeah, absolutely too. I guess we don't need to expand that much on that one, but that is absolutely awesome. Okay, that one we've already done, basically. Will you let your newfound power go to your heads? I guess this is kind of in relation to that last one.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You have the ability to influence a generation of Diplomacy players. What are you going to influence them to do?
Stab me.
Absolutely. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know what else you want. Like, that's what's gonna happen.
That seems pretty accurate. On average, how long does it take from recording a video to publishing it? Very much depends on the type of video. If it is just me and Ezio commentating something, that is usually like between a day and 2 days. On that front, it really depends how much time I can spend on it. But it's not difficult to tell from the videos that they are pretty minimally edited, right? It's mainly just me lining up the 2 audio tracks, and then just going through and doing a full listen through once to see if I need to cut anything out. In terms of stuff like Media Wars, it'll obviously take a month or like several months. And some of the other videos that I'm working on now also take a very, very long time. But that's also in part because I'm not a very good editor and I'm trying to edit stuff.
They added fish to the game.
Woo. Have you noticed that they added a different type of swimming as well? If you hold shift when you're in the water, you can, like, swim forward.
Sorry, I gotta kill the sheep. I need some wool. How much wool do I need to make a bed?
3.
God damn it.
It is generally better to shear the sheep because then you can get more than 1 wool off a sheep. But
oh, unfortunate. Well, shame it's dead.
Well, if you can find 3 sheep, it doesn't matter, and there's another one over there. So
yeah, well, how do you shear a sheep?
You need shears, which are 2 iron. you need for that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
how much iron do you think I have right now?
I'm gonna guess it's not 2.
Man, interesting. How'd you figure that out?
There are a couple more sheep over here, so you should be fine to just kill them. Alright, so, where would you say you are on your character arc with Salt? Oh my god, well, we haven't had the game yet where I properly work with Salt, right? I think that has to happen at some point. It will happen, I believe. It may take a long time, though, given how things have gone.
I liked the games when we were on the same team, and I worked with Salt, and that was kind of like you working with Salt.
Yeah, that's true. You can be my stand-in, like, Salt worker.
Yeah.
Alright. So, will you ever make videos analyzing viewers' games? We talked about that one already, I guess. The answer is probably yes.
Yes, totally will. It's just not yet.
It needs to be a specific.
It probably won't be yours.
Well, you never
It could be yours. Yours could be the first. Fine, we'll keep the upsell. It probably won't be yours.
Alright. Diplomacy with Fog of War was great. When will be the next episode of that? Those are pretty rare games. They might become a bit more popular after the videos come out, right? Because I've certainly seen a few people going that they're talking about wanting to do it. But they take a huge amount of GM work from the GMs to run. And obviously it's a one-shot variant. They have to design the whole thing, and then it's only gonna be played that one time. So I don't think it will happen.
At least for like the full-on exploration discovery ones. Like standard Fog of War games happen with like they're on feet if you can find them, and they're pretty fun. But the like whole-on exploration thing, that's really where it's at.
Yeah, that's. Oh, I think I found your old wooden pickaxe. All right.
Yeah, probably.
But yes, so I would absolutely do another one of those, but again, it will have to be when my life has calmed down a little bit, and when someone is running them. That is the other thing there. Should more people get involved in diplomacy content creation? Yes, absolutely. I love it when other people do. And I mean, I don't watch as much as I used to now, but certainly I used to watch tons and tons and tons of this. It's just because life has got busier that I don't. And it inspired me to start, and it inspired DiploStrats in that sense, so, you know, you never know who you'd be inspiring in the future if you start doing something like that. How so? I think the easiest way to do it is honestly in a podcast style, the way we do it, right? Grab someone else who's interested in diplomacy and just record yourself bantering with them about a game. It's so much easier to do that than to script something. Obviously, if you feel like you want to script something, that's fantastic too. But if you're looking for an easy way into it, grab someone and banter. Alright. So, we are now out of the DiploStrats section. I don't think we're gonna get through all of these.
If you run up bare bubbles immediately, or do you have some time?
No, I've got tons of time.
No, I mean like for air bubbles in Minecarft. I'm trying to swim.
Sorry, I wasn't.
I see the way to swim down over here, but I don't know if there's a way out. Also, is this a survival world?
It is a survival world, yes.
Okay, so.
Yeah, I mean, you should have enough air bubbles to do stuff in there.
Well, I mean...
You don't die immediately when you run out.
First of all, CaptainMeme, hop on down here. I'm just gonna...
Boop, oh, I see.
Boop. Boop, boop.
Good plan.
Boop, boop.
Okay, how were you guys introduced to diplomacy back in the day? Well,
My mom taught me how to play.
Yep. Ezio's mum introduced him to the concept of backstabbing. I was introduced by my maths teacher back in secondary school. But yeah.
I mean, you see what I'm talking about? Like going down here, right? It's like I want to drop well.
Block up this entrance too.
Right, but like I don't think there's a good way out.
Right,
there's like some lava down there.
Yeah, I don't... Okay, this is not good. Don't go this way.
Right? That's what I was thinking, but like, you're like, oh, you should have an affair to do stuff, and I was like, I don't know.
Okay, I made it, it's fine. But yeah, I went all the way to the end, there's nothing, there. Okay, how do real games of diplomacy play compared to the absolute mania that is our games? That's from Novel Pond, who is one of Veilfisk's friends. Hello. Thanks for submitting a question as well. I will say your games were on the wilder end of stuff I've seen. Especially, I think it's fantastic seeing the game play out as well. When I was commentating the Veilfisk games, I've obviously seen the Veilfisk videos, so I got to see the press in action. And you guys are absolutely hilarious when you're doing your stuff. But yeah, in terms of the actual moves, I'd say yours were actually... I'm not gonna say high level. I don't think they were close to high level. But they were better than a lot of noob games that I've seen, in terms of strategy. And especially things like, things like when the stalemate line discussion came up in your game. That really surprised me, and I think I mentioned that in the commentary videos, because that is quite a high-level tactical concept that I wasn't expecting to happen in that kind of game. So yeah, that's...
I will say, a lot of diplomacy games with friends have those sorts of trolling, those jokes, right? That same style of stuff. So that part's pretty normal for just games between friends. And that's part of what makes the game so awesome, is that things can go pretty crazy. Right? Things can just go completely off the wall. So, yeah, yours were hectic. But like, that just happens. So, that's why the game is so much fun.
Absolutely. Alright, how has playing diplomacy influenced your life? Ezio.
I mean, obviously, DiploStrats is a big part of my life. And like, I wouldn't have DiploStrats if I didn't play diplomacy. So that's kind of a cop-out answer. But diplomacy, just as a means of like doing human interaction a lot and like talking to people in text, has made me better at interacting with people. Which is like a pretty cynical thing to think about and say. Because it's like,
I don't...
But it has.
Yeah, see, it comes across when you think about that sentence at first, right? It comes across like you're saying, I've been learning to be more manipulative in life or whatever. But that's not exactly true. I think one of the things that diplomacy really gets you to do is think about things from the other person's perspective and think about what they're wanting, right? Which is just a good life skill, even manipulation aside. That's just a good thing to be able to do. So, yeah. I would say that's that is definitely a benefit that diplomacy gives. In terms of how it's influenced my own life, massively. Right, even DiploStrats aside, I have a lot of friends from playing diplomacy who I wouldn't have had otherwise. I moved from diplomacy to... Like, I found out about this game show called Survivor through diplomacy friends. And I went to a Survivor event in America off the basis of playing Survivor online which I was invited to by diplomacy friends, which is where I met my, well, future husband now. So, this is, it really has been like a thing that's led to a lot of important events in my life, and I think I would be my life would be incredibly different if I hadn't played diplomacy. So that is that's how it's influenced mine.
That was Survivor Me up in like Willamette or whatever.
Yeah, in Oregon. It was good times back in 2019.
Was 2019?
I know, right? It was forever ago. Ezio was actually also there, so we met twice in real life, actually.
Yeah,
right.
But that was after we'd already met at like. I answered the like when did we meet question, not like when are all the times you've seen each other.
Yeah. The and also notably that one I got eliminated super early on, which is and I wasn't even on your tribe, so I don't think we actually ended up playing Survivor together really at all.
Yeah, I don't think we interacted at all in that game.
Good times. I love Survivor, but I am very, very bad at it.
You've made it to the final FTC a couple times, right?
Yeah. I've been getting better at it since I stopped doing as much in games. Like when this kind of attitude that I've had recently in diplomacy of I'm not gonna bother talking to people quite as much if I don't have the time to do so. That's really benefited my Survivor play. It didn't benefit my diplomacy play as much, but in Survivor, it turns out sitting back and not doing as much is a really good strategy, especially... Oh my god.
Well, I should probably stop holding the W button. Hey, CaptainMeme, there's stuff down here. You should take a jump.
I think I'm good. I think I'll leave you to do your...
No, it's water. It's fine. You'll be okay, I promise.
Is there any way down that doesn't involve me dying?
I am not dead. Did you see me die?
Is there actually water directly below this block?
Okay, look. I have no idea how directly below the block it is, but I made my way into the water.
Okay, well...
I think it's almost directly below. Yeah, see?
Oh, there's a skeleton. I can hear it. Ow.
Yeah, I just shot you. We should fix that.
Okay, you know what? I'm gonna fix it by building Fort DiploStrats here. It's gonna be a 2x2 fort. 2x1 fort. There we go.
Wait, hold up. 2x1? Uh-oh. Okay, my game does not like this big cavern.
Oh no. Turn down your render distance in settings.
Too late.
Oh no. Well, if you rejoin, you should spawn back in here. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my god. Alright, well, have you ever considered writing a story based on one of your Diplo games / set in one of the Diplo games you played? This is a really good question, because I think, well, I've always loved writing stories. That's something that I did quite a lot when I was younger. And diplomacy is kind of awesome for making those... making a real situation, right? Or, like, simulating something that could be a story. The problem with diplomacy in that respect is that it's kind of hard to... Like, I think the first thing that people think about when doing something like that is, oh, I'm gonna take these people's diplomacy game and turn it into a world where all these people were, like, the dukes and duchesses of various kingdoms, and they were all... negotiating in these ways, and this is how everything resulted. And it's really hard to do that because obviously in those kind of situations it wouldn't be 7 people together in a room doing this kind of constant backstabbery stuff. It's what other people like. You could absolutely try and do something like that, and I think Matt Colville has a great series on how you might be able to do. But I couldn't find a good way to take a diplomacy game and directly translate it into something like that without it feeling kind of weird.
Okay, do I need something special to mine diamonds, CaptainMeme? Is that what's going
you need
on?
an
Like
iron
stone?
pickaxe.
Waste.
Did you find diamonds and fail to mine them?
No, definitely not.
Oh, no.
There's iron.
Alright, well, I will continue hiding in the hole here while you do that.
Oh, this isn't iron. Alright, I have a stone.
Okay.
Where is...
The other way you could write about diplomacy experience, right, is actually writing about the diplomacy game itself. Which some people have done. In fact, we covered a fan fiction that someone had written about a diplomacy game, which was actually kind of awesome.
Oh my god, we did!
Way back when. Yeah. You remember that. It was initially as a kind of April Fool's thing, but I think it was awesome, and I actually talked to the author about it while I was preparing the video. And just came across how much effort and, like, love they had for the game and for their writing. While I was talking with them about the whole thing, and it was awesome how they managed to put all of that into their writing.
Hey, will copper do the trick, CaptainMeme? Or does it have to be iron?
I don't think copper will do the trick. I think it does have to be iron. I can go out and try and help you find iron, but I do think I'm going to die.
What do you mean you're gonna die? There's nothing around here.
I have 2.5 hearts.
Well, then have some food. I got some chicken for you.
Oh, yes, please. I did not get
there's
any
chicken
food
on the ground.
before. Okay.
Yeah, you weren't thinking that we were like actually
chicken.
gonna do stuff. Yeah, give me... Oh, did I leave my furnace? I left my furnace behind. I'm sorry. Give me a sec.
That's fine. I can make one.
I left my crafting bench behind, too. Yeah, alright.
Here's a crafting bench. Oop.
Glow ink sack.
So you, yeah, you can
Can I mine gold with my, with stone?
I don't know.
Well, let's find
We'll
out.
find out. There is a zombie on the way. I'm waiting for the chicken to cook so that I can have enough health to fight it. Oh my god,
Doesn't
there's
look
so
like
much
it.
stuff in this cabin.
Yeah, it's a huge cavern. That's why we like caverns. Right, you have so much more surface area to see stuff, right? When you're like digging down your stupid little hole, it takes so long.
Yeah. There's another person who sent us a review copy, like an advanced copy of that book way back when to see if we'd review it, and I never actually did. We might look at the game at some point in the future, but I think Sploak ended up reviewing it as well. And, like, these are fictions where it's about the people playing a diplomacy game, right? Which is a cool way to do it, and I think playing a real diplomacy game and then basing it on... basing your
have there,
writing
like,
on
been
that
people
could be
here in this
quite
game?
cool.
Is there's, like...
No.
There's, like, a cart down here.
Oh, that's,
right,
so there are structures that can get spawned. Oh, okay, well, rip. There are structures that can get spawned in, that I think that might be an abandoned mine shaft or something like that.
That's what it looks like.
But yeah. So yeah, anyway, that's a way you can do that. I think the other thing you can do is do something diplomacy adjacent that's a bit more suited to like building a world around. But this is my attempt to plug mega games again, because I think mega games are like absolutely perfect for that. They can run, let's simulate a much more realistic environment of people needing to negotiate with each other and needing to do that kind of backstabbery, right? In a situation that's maybe more suited for a story. So if you're interested in doing that, I would highly recommend playing a mega game. Alright. Anyway, that was a lot of rambling.
Why did I give you chicken if you were just gonna die, CaptainMeme?
It's alright, you can just pick it up again, right? I died next to you. Unless you've moved along.
I've been running around. Okay, I see the furnace, though.
Okay, I was somewhere near that. You can probably see my items all over the ground if you just look around a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, have you ever used diplomacy skills in real life? I think we briefly covered this, right? With your...
Yeah, I understood.
We've basically done that one. What's the fastest you've ever lost a diplomacy game? That's a good question. How... I'm fairly sure I've lost diplomacy games in, like, 1904 as Austria before. They're the kind of games that I really want to blank out from my mind. I think one of them was even... So, in 2016, I went to Australia, and I played some diplomacy games while I was visiting there, because the Australians have a really great, like, diplomacy scene. I went to Andrew Goff's house and played there, but they eliminated me in, like, 1904, and I'd come all the way from England. Absolutely unbelievable. I can't believe they would do that to me.
Yeah, by the way, for all beginners, if you're going to, like, a big diplomacy tournament internationally, they have, generally speaking, it's a rule that your first game, they will not eliminate you immediately. Yeah. So that's the right time to get turkey.
Why is this house on fire? Oh my god, that's white. Okay. Rip.
It's not like a real rule, obviously, right? Like, it's not enforced. I mean, I've seen so much diamond.
But you can't get it because you don't have any iron. Incredible. Well, keep looking for that iron. I believe in you. Yeah.
I'm pretty tilted.
But yes, they won't eliminate you first in your first game, probably.
I don't tell anyone that. Because as soon as you talk about it, you lose all of, like, they will kill you. Just to prove that they can. But, like, just know that, like, if you're pitching an alliance with someone and, like, they're an experienced player who's been to a lot of tournaments, yeah.
They might be willing to show you more mercy. This is,
Yep.
Yeah. But yeah, I had a great time in Australia anyway. I played another game that I did significantly better in. And in that game that I got eliminated in 1904, I spent the rest of the night beating all of Andrew Goff's Mario Kart records. And I don't know if he ever got them back. For reference, Andrew Goff is like the diplomacy world champion from Australia who is very, very good.
He's not the reigning world champion, though.
No, not anymore. But he does have the most world championships, I think.
Yeah, he's probably the best player in the world. So.
Yeah. But not at Mario Kart, as it turns out. Anyway, so... What colour do you think every country in diplomacy should be? I don't mean tell me the colour of countries as they normally are. I want your personal opinion on what colours you think they should have. Ezio, what's your answer to that one?
I've grown up playing diplomacy on the diplomacy boards, and so that's the colours they should be.
Do you have a bed, by the way?
No.
Oh, I thought you killed enough sheep on the surface to get one.
Yeah, but I don't know how to make one.
It's 3 wooden planks on the bottom and then 3 wool above that. In a row. Because if you can go to sleep here, it should skip the night. Although I guess it doesn't actually matter that much for you.
Yeah, I really don't care what time of day it is.
Yeah. Alright. Right,
I'll never guess CaptainMeme. I found an iron.
Oh! A strand of iron or just one?
We'll see. 3 raw iron, baby. Alright.
Nice. Well, I found an iron source here, but they might not want to give it up. So I'm glad you found something else.
Okay, good. I almost died.
Okay, but yeah, colors. So Ezio will go for his natural ones. For the ones that they already do.
Yeah, very exciting. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, I think I'd see. For most of the time, I would have said stuff like England being pink, because that's what it is on web diplomacy, and what it is on the...
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, I'm fine. There was a creeper, it blew up the furnace, but the iron was safe.
Alright, fine. But yeah, so there's, I would have said stuff like England being pink, because on the European diplomacy board, it is. Oh my god, you dropped out.
This game is rigged. I'm not allowed to get diamonds.
Oh my god. Anyway.
Pink is England.
Yes, pink is England, or it was, but actually, since then, and especially after looking at Backstabber so much, I do actually like blue for England a lot more, dark blue. Pink just seems garish looking at it now. And I mean, you can't really have France be any colour other than blue as well, which is the problem with having England be blue. But, yeah, I'm not going to go through all of them. I would probably just say the Backstabber colours at this point, because I'm so used to them. Yep. Anyway. How has diplomacy, its meta, and its community evolved since you've been playing it? That's an interesting question.
Way more anti-Turkey than it used to be.
It is way more anti-Turkey. I think Turkey was definitely one of the stronger nations when we started playing, at least in the formats we were playing, so online primarily, right? Because I know in person there was definitely more anti-Turkey before that point as well. But the anti-Turkey meta has kind of spread to online as well now, and you see a lot of AIR just murdering Turks to the point that people don't really want to be Turkey very much. I still love playing Turkey.
I think it's gotten honestly too extreme.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I see Austria's kill Turkey a lot in positions that then the Austria just dies afterwards. And it's like, that's probably wrong.
Yeah. Yeah, there are definitely some situations where Austria-Turkey can be better for the Austria, especially if the,
Wintergreen's really strong.
Yeah, if the Russia-Italy needs to be dealt with, but you also need to make sure that you're working that kind of alliance in your favor from the start, right? You don't want to get it to a point where Turkey has complete power over you, which is what it gets to if you run it too long.
Yeah, if you run it poorly and you just like do things that maybe seem natural at the start, then yeah, it can be problematic. I agree.
Yeah. Oh no.
No, I just picked up the time. Alright, it's okay. I can make it back out of that pit. Because I didn't make a bet, obviously. See if I can find the pit again.
Oh, incredible.
Yeah, man, that's very funny, the timing.
Alright.
That's a creeper. But yeah, we're talking about the meta, right?
Yeah, well, so you've said that it's changed to be, that's the meta has changed to be more anti-Turkey. That's definitely true. In terms of how the community has evolved, I think it's evolved away from the sort of laissez-faire style of diplomacy, like the laissez-faire reputation that diplomacy used to have, right? In that stuff like Alan Kalhammer, the creator of the game, writing an article about why it's fine to like slip units onto the board when no one is looking. If you try and do that now, people will not be very happy with you, right?
Yeah, I mean, that particular one, because it's literally been talked about, it's kind of infamous at this point.
Yeah.
So that literal one will get you more slack. But, like, that's if they catch you doing it, right? I don't know, like...
Yeah, I think there's also just more...
In general, I completely agree, right? I completely agree that people care much more about, like, the sanctity of the rules and the games,
Yeah,
right, than they used to.
absolutely.
Like, cheating was just much more common back in the day. I will also say more friendly than it used to be. Like, we're talking about how stuff, like, gets heated in diplomacy, but that's, like, us talking nowadays. Back in the day, it was so much worse. Like, most tournaments would have shouting matches that would make, like, everyone uncomfortable. Um, because they were just so much. But nowadays, that's uncommon, right? Like, most tournaments don't have that happen.
Yeah. That is absolutely true. I think the vibes are just generally much better. I think in part that's because, especially over COVID, people started enforcing code of conducts a lot more than they used to.
Yeah.
And that's just a super important step. Even for something like diplomacy, there are a lot of people going, like, if you enforce something like that, it's going to make the experience worse because part of diplomacy is being able to negotiate in whatever way you want to, right? But there are limits that if you negotiate in certain ways with stuff like chainsaw diplomacy, which is essentially the word for going and shouting at someone until they do what you tell them to do, right? That's going to make the game super unwelcoming to newer players. So it's a very good thing that that's kind of not really allowed anymore. Yeah. So, next question. Oh. Oh no. Did you try and drop down in exactly the same place again and miss the water?
I did. I think I was sprinting this time, whereas last time I wasn't.
Yeah, the water is slightly behind the drop point, so you have to curve backwards. But yeah, anyway, this is a very relevant question to that last one. Is the diplomacy game or community inherently toxic?
No.
Yep. Do we want to talk about that anymore? I mean, it's kind of...
Just like online spaces have a lot of toxicity that can exist, but there's nothing about diplomacy that's inherently toxic. Like, is hanging out with friends inherently toxic?
Yeah, it's interesting, right? Because the way the game works, it's a super emotional game, and it can get you very emotionally invested. And I think too, some people who maybe aren't, like, some people who try diplomacy for the first time but aren't really into diplomacy and get turned off immediately because of maybe they don't like being stabbed or whatever, the game can feel like it's inherently toxic because you don't want to play a game like that. But the people who stick around and play diplomacy more after that point, after they get stabbed and stuff like that, tend to be the nicest people you'll meet in any hobby. That's my experience with it anyway. Diplomacy has a lot of super awesome people playing it. A lot more than I'd find in basically anywhere else that I go. So I would say it's the opposite of toxic, really. The people who stick around tend to be pretty non-toxic, at least in the modern, with the modern way of playing the game. Yeah. I keep losing my place in here. I've been watching your channel but have never actually played diplomacy. What's a good way to get into it? Great question. I would highly recommend joining our Discord server, which is linked in the description below. We run games specifically for new players, beginner games, that you can sign up to get notified for. I run them basically whenever anyone ats me asking for new ones. So also feel free to at me if there aren't any open ones when you join. And that is a great way to play online. Like, if you want to play a 24-hour phase game, and you're maybe a little worried about jumping in with more experienced players, that's a great place to be with newer players. If you want to jump in with experienced players, you're also more than welcome to do that. We run those kind of games as well. There's also a pretty active voice game community there. Or you can join VWDC, which is another Discord server that does voice games for those, and play a bit in VDL. And if you want to play in person, I would highly recommend looking up if there are any tournaments in your area. Because tournaments are really where you'll be... Like, it sounds intimidating going to a tournament, but really in diplomacy, a tournament is just an excuse to get enough people together to play the game. Everyone there is enthusiastic about playing it, and it'll be your best chance to go and play with other people who want to play the game. As opposed to, I think, what most people try and do at first is gather up 6 of their friends and play in person, and that can work, but it's a bit tough because the fact that you need 7 players means that you often are wrangling some people who don't want to be there, and it's a long game to try and bring people who don't want to be there in. So yeah.
Yeah, playing a game of diplomacy with 6 other people who all want to play diplomacy versus playing a game of diplomacy with yourself and 6 other people that you have suckered into playing diplomacy is a very different experience.
Yes, absolutely. This is absolutely true. And maybe you're one of the lucky people whose friends will really enjoy diplomacy. I think you'll generally know whether someone will really enjoy diplomacy from their reaction when you explain the game to them. If they seem not very interested in it, I wouldn't push it too much further to try and get them to join, honestly.
Yeah, I would go one step further. I think you'll be able to tell how someone feels about diplomacy in the long run after you see them get stabbed for the first time.
Okay, yes, that's also true.
Because people can hear diplomacy and be like, oh, what a neat concept. That's a very cool game. I'm super excited. And then they get stabbed and then they flip the table. And that's someone who's not going to stick around for diplomacy in the long haul. Because, like, in diplomacy, yeah, you're going to have some awesome stabs. That looks like a scary monster.
What does it look like?
It's like glowing purple. Purple eyes.
Is it, like, flying?
No. It looked like it had legs. Oh, I should just run.
Is it a wither skeleton? Is it... Oh, it's probably an Enderman, right? It's black. You just
that sounds right.
Don't look at its eyes, or it will attack you.
Okay, well, I did not. Does sleeping heal you, by the way?
No, it does not. It just skips the night.
But it gives me, like, a lockdown point, right? I respawn here now?
Yes, it does. In fact, you only need to right-click on the bed, and it will give you the respawn point. But yeah, so
nope.
Actually...
I died.
Rip.
Or I slept.
Actually, this next question ties in very closely to the last one. When it comes to introducing diplomacy to new players, what do you find to be the best method? I've tried to varying degrees of success, but since I'm moving somewhere new soon, I'll have many opportunities to try and spread my favorite game to new people. As mentioned, I think if they don't seem interested in it, don't try to push too hard. It's not a game that everyone will enjoy. If they do seem interested in it, absolutely try and gather people together in person if you can. If you can't do that, then something like Blitz diplomacy is also a great way to get people involved. You can do that in our Discord server as well, like very quick phase lengths, or just join the Discord server, let people know that you're bringing in some friends, and ask if anyone else will be willing to fill, right, the slots. And you could get a voice game going, or get a 24-hour game going if you prefer that way. Yeah, that would be my advice on that front. You can also play it with fewer, like with the boards fewer than 7 players variants, which can work as an introduction, but I would shy away from it if you have like less than 5 people, just because it's not very satisfying at that point to play. Alright, how do I get better at this godforsaken game? Ezio, that sounds like a thing for you.
Play more.
I mean,
That's it. Play more. The more diplomacy you play, the better you're going to get at it.
Yeah. That's honestly fantastic advice. Especially, so from a from a tactical perspective, definitely playing more helps out. From being able to talk to other people more, it helps out as well. If you're looking for more direct help with your tactics, I would say, well, one, talk to people about it, right? If you raise up these situations, I would advise raising situations after you've played the game and say, what could I have done better here to people? People will be more than happy to talk you through stuff.
Yeah, but also, free advice is worth what you pay for it.
I mean, that's true, but it's not. It's not always a lot of people are quite good at tactics in the diplomacy community, right? And especially asking for tactical advice, I think you'll get at least some good answers.
Yeah, but like, look, you need to play your own game of diplomacy.
That's true.
Like, having people tell you what to do, right? Yes, you can create puzzles that have discrete answers where this is the right move, and like, you can hear me describe my tactical situation and what moves I'm going to do here. But so many of the tactics in diplomacy are guesses, and you need to feel the guesses for yourself to know when you should make the aggressive move, when you shouldn't. Like, you need to know who you're playing against. I play more diplomacy, and in your question, when you talk about it being this godforsaken game, that's, I think, the thing you need to focus on. The game is just the game, and you need to get your emotional. You need to get that out of it. You need to say, I am playing this game, and I need to get better. How am I going to improve? And you need to put on your analytical head, not your emotional head. And your analytical head's going to tell your emotional head to shut up and don't get pissed about it. And you just got to, and like, grind more and put in the work. And that's kind of the case about everything. If you're like trying to get better at a sport, right? You're not just going to expect to be great at the sport at the start. You're going to be bad at it. And then you need to work on your skills to get better at the game, and you're going to play the game more. And like, a lot of these sports, yeah, there are very specific exercises you can do, right? Like in soccer, you practice your dribbling, and then you practice kicking the ball and getting accurate shots, and you can do a bunch of drills, and you can work on your footwork, and you can do your endurance, the rest of it. Diplomacy's harder because it's about talking to people, and so yeah, talk to people more. And so something that maybe you can do is in your real world, as you talk to everyone, just try to get a read on what they're thinking and how they're feeling. Be more emotionally sensitive and emotionally aware, and I think that'll make you a lot better at diplomacy.
I think that's fantastic advice. Yeah. Yeah. Alright, so, going to the next one. Favorite nation to play as? And has it changed over time? Ezio.
France.
Has it ever changed?
My nation that is, I enjoy playing Italy much more now than I used to. I think France has been my favorite for forever, but like, Italy right now is in such a good place in the metagame because everyone's so anti-Turkey. I think Italy is just really favored to do well.
Mm-hmm.
So Italy's improved a lot, but no, France is my favorite because France is France.
Makes
sense. How about
you, Meme? I mean, over time, I've got so. I started out loving Austria, more than any other nation. When I first started playing diplomacy, it was like Austria can do all this cool stuff, like the Kieler Panto. Right? And then I kind of went towards preferring England because I found a bunch of cool strategies you could play on England, and I also just kind of loved the whole idea of blowing up people's fleets in the north and then playing with like complete domination of the seas without having to have many units on the board to do so, right? Which is probably something you can do better as France anyway, but I just like it more as England. Nowadays, I don't know if I have a favorite nation anymore. I think I'm happy to play any nation that comes up.
Except Turkey.
No, even
I don't
Turkey.
like
I do
Turkey.
quite enjoy Turkey at this point. But like, I think the one that I want to play the most is usually the one that I haven't played in the longest, because I want to get familiar with that country again. I couldn't name what that nation is right now, though. Like, it's been so long since I played Classic in general. I just don't want to play France again after all the media war France's. Alright, which diplomacy game have you played in that you're the most proud of? Ezio. Do you want me to answer first, or...?
Yeah, you go first.
Alright, I mean... It feels like it's been too recent for me to say it's the most proud I've ever been of a diplomacy game, but my 90 Center Spain in Imperial diplomacy is probably the one. Like, that was far and away the best I've performed in a diplomacy game, and I really enjoyed playing that game as well.
Yeah, right. It was an invitational, right, with a bunch of like very good players, and you went and soloed all over all of them on this relatively new variant. Like, yeah, that was hella impressive.
That was an invitational, but
oh, that wasn't.
No, that was just the normal one from that.
Well, even still, right? This brand new variant, you just went and like styled all over them. So.
Yeah, and it wasn't really styling all over them. It was like.
You won. You soloed.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
but
styling
it
all
never
over
felt like I was just going to win, right? It did feel like it was still that there were a lot of different ways it could have gone all throughout the game. I'm just kind of proud of the way I navigated it in the end. At the end of the day.
Nice.
Yeah. Do you have one then, or are you just skipping that question?
I mean, my best, like the most impactful tournament game that I've been in is probably the semifinals of Olympus, the one where I board topped to make to the finals.
Right. Yes.
Well, like that one was just I had an Austria who wanted to give me everything, and so like I just took it, and so I mean like the game wasn't that like I don't know.
Yeah. Fair.
In my next Olympus round, I have a game that I'm proud of. Like, not that Olympus Finals, but in this next one, I'm currently playing it, so it's not done. But, like, I'm crushing it this one. And, like, I'm controlling everything in a way that I'm proud of, so that's good.
Okay, yeah, but we can't talk about that one yet, for obvious reasons,
I mean,
right?
I can, but, like... I don't know, like, Yeah, I don't have any good answers to this question.
Well... I'll give a second answer then, instead. Because I also just thought, like, when you were saying that, it's not always the games that we've done the best at that we can be the most proud of. I think Media Wars 1 is honestly a game that I'm really proud of, mainly because it showcases the whole thing of trying to convince someone to do something at the end of the game that you think is in their best interest, but they don't think is in their best interest, right? And there are so many situations where you try and do something like that and it fails. And I think to have captured one very, like, to have captured a situation where that happened and it succeeded, like, I eventually managed to convince that person to do what I wanted them to do, was pretty big, and, like, it took a lot to make that happen. I'm quite proud of the way that game ended. Alright. So, what's your favorite strategy in diplomacy?
Why is the Tequila Ponzo?
I'm gonna go ahead and say Tequila Ponzo. I love it.
I can't believe you, man.
It's so fun. Like, I wouldn't play it that much anymore, but it's just super unusual strategies like that don't seem like they can work, but just feel awesome to pull off, are definitely my favorite kind of strategies. What about you, Ezio?
I don't have a favorite strategy.
Your favorite strategy is stabbing people, right?
No! Like, my favorite strategy is making the best move that will win me the game most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's like the most useless answer for this question. But like I'm not Yeah, right. I guess my favorite strategy is like the wintergreen, I guess.
So
just like working right in alliance
that's the
structure.
Italy-Russia alliance specifically, yeah.
Yeah, right. I like that. That one seems pretty strong to me. That's really good in the current meta. It like claps people. But like favorite strategy feels it's like whatever strategy is gonna win me the game is the strategy that I'm gonna do, and like I don't have like emotional connections to these strategies. Like I haven't pioneered any opening, right? Like I don't have anything named after me. Like I don't know.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. Alright, so, what's the weirdest strategy you've seen in a game that actually worked? I definitely have an answer to this one, because I remember it very clearly. It was Seren Quok in one of the DBNIs. I think it might be DBNI 2022 or 2023. One of the qualifying games. As France, she immediately went south with all of her units and gave up Brest and Paris to an ally. And just went all in on Italy. I was like, what on earth is she doing? That's absolutely insane. But she won that game. Somehow.
Yeah, it doesn't sound right.
It was absolutely incredible. But it's just like, it shows that diplomacy is about the negotiation, right? It's about diplomacy. And some people have such confidence in that they're willing to do really stupid things on the board. I view that strategy as stupid, and I do not recommend that anyone plays it. But the fact that Serenka managed to pull something like that off was just outstanding to watch. I was in awe. I'll see if I can find that game. I'm not sure I'll be able to, because it was a long time ago.
That sounds absolutely insane.
Yes. I mean, it was absolutely insane, but it worked, so yeah.
Hell yeah.
Did you have an answer to that question too, or want to move on?
I think yours is the good enough answer. I don't think we both should answer all of these questions. It's already been 2 hours, and we're like a quarter of the way through.
Yeah. Alright. Favorite alliances? Ezio.
I already answered.
You did actually. Wintergreen for you, and I'd go Italy, Austria because I can do my Lepanto with that one. Also, alliance tier list when it's an interesting idea, and it is one that we've thought about before, but I don't know if it will ever happen.
Yeah, it doesn't seem that exciting to me.
Do you think there's any chance that diplomacy could become a popular mainstream game, maybe even with famous streamers playing diplomacy? What do you reckon, Ezio?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I heard this great channel called DiploStrats, and I think they're gonna make it mainstream. So I think you should like and subscribe to their channel and like really do everything that they ever ask you to do, and that's gonna make diplomacy a big deal. Yep.
God.
In a more serious answer, streaming diplomacy is really tough. Like, there's not a lot of like high impact, like high octane. It's very slow. It's watching someone on screen type a lot, which I gotta say, is I think a tough sell for a lot of audience members. And then it has the other downside of like streaming dramatically negatively affects your performance because stream sniping is so important in diplomacy, like much more so than in many other games. Um, and that's a problem that makes streaming a game harder. Um, I think it's a tough sell, honestly. How about you, Mame? Do you think diplomacy can make it mainstream?
No, I think you're about right with that. It's just too difficult to make it into something that's like short and punchy and interesting. I think one of the things that makes Veilfisk's videos so amazing, right, is that he manages to do that. He manages to edit it down into something that's short and punchy and interesting, but you have to remember that he's edited down like an 8-hour game into a 1.5-hour video in order to do that. And you, like, streaming, you get the full 8 hours. Some people will be interested in that. I'm very glad that some people are interested in very long-form content, but it's never gonna be the, like, a mainstream thing, I think. Like, that's always gonna be a little bit niche. I'm fine with it being a bit niche, to be honest.
Yeah.
As nice as it would be for everyone to play diplomacy.
Maybe if like TikTok got banned and like people's attention span started working again.
Well, you know what? Actually, Blitz diplomacy could work, but the problem with streaming Blitz diplomacy is that you have to be able to multitask with talking to people and streaming, right? And talking about what you're doing at the same time, which is
something that CaptainMeme cannot do.
Yeah, I've tried it. I can't do anything like that. So, yeah, maybe someone more skilled than me can. We'll see. But yeah, as people's attention spans are getting shorter, I think diplomacy is not going to become that much more mainstream.
Sadly, because obviously we'd love for it to be mainstream, right? We're not like, we don't want to gatekeep this hobby. We're not trying to keep people out of it. It's just like...
Yeah, I think, it's... Like, I think it's gonna grow, for sure. It's gonna get much larger, and if anyone... Like, Veilfisk has absolutely proved that. You can see how many new people he's brought into the game. Just one person, making a video that's just an awesome showcase for what the game can be, right? Can just reveal what the game is to a whole new group of people who are interested in that kind of thing. But it's never going to interest a massive proportion of the population, right? It's all about finding the people that it does interest, rather than getting a ton of, rather than getting it to, like, I don't know, NBA status or whatever.
That said, if you guys have any ideas of how to get it to NBA status, reach out.
I mean,
because I'd like to hear it.
Would be very cool. Alright, if you could make one permanent universal change to the diplomacy map, what would it be? Anything from adding a province to giving a country an extra SC.
I would remove Portugal.
I knew that would be your answer. I was so sure.
I have not been shy about that. I think that Portugal is dumb.
Yeah, it does make France very, very strong. I would be hard-pressed to disagree with that. I think that would probably be the best change you could make to the classic map. So I will just go with your answer too there and go to the next one. What's your favourite space on the classic map? It's...
tough.
Yeah. I love spaces that I can convoy into without people noticing that I can convoy into them. So probably Albania I'll take. It would be like Albania or like Wales or Clyde.
Tuscany? Tuscany doesn't make that list?
See, it should, but I don't go that way as France or Italy, really. As Italy, I don't go west. As France, I usually don't go south. So that situation just doesn't crop up as much for me.
Sure.
Yeah. What about you? Any favorite province?
Like the North Sea.
Ezio being practical as usual, choosing the actual best province to be in.
I don't know. Like, what do you want? Like, what?
No.
What question is this looking for? Is it like, what province do I have? Like, do I think is most overrated? Like,
no,
or most underrated? I guess.
What do you like the most? What province do you is your favorite one on the board?
Yeah, I don't. This question doesn't really make sense to me.
Alright, fine. Okay, so let me go to the next one here. Which power in standard diplomacy do you think is the most flexible? Does how flexible a power is correlate at all to how much you like playing as the power?
I'm not, that's an interesting question. Because I think the answer is France. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And I do like France. But I don't play France flexibly.
In what sense do you not play France flexibly? Like,
I just, like, get big and kill people.
I mean,
it's like...
yeah, that is kind of fair. But you don't, like... yeah. I would have said Italy is the most flexible power, just because they have the option of going, like, in the Eastern or Western theatres. But I guess France kind of does, too. And France is a bit better at it as well.
Maybe Germany, then?
Yeah, it could be Germany. I mean, it's one of them.
Yeah, it's one of the powers. One of them is the most flexible.
Definitely. In terms of whether a power being flexible makes it more fun to play, absolutely, right? That's, being able to do more things is great. That's why people hate playing Turkey, when everyone is just happy to kill Turkey.
But that's not... I hate Turkey because Turkey is bad because it dies, not because it's like, oh no, I have to try to take thoughts, and like that's somehow sad.
Yeah, but if you're limited in the, like, good alliances that your power can make, that's just less options for you diplomatically as well, right? It's harder to sell someone on an AT, for example, because that is an objectively bad alliance a lot of the time for Austria.
Captain, how much shit I've gotten into because you don't like ATs?
What? Why have you gotten into a mess for that?
Because I play games as Austria or Turkey, and they're like, oh, I know I can't work with you because you hate the AT. And I'm like, what? I think the AT is totally fine. And then he's like, I've watched your videos, you can't fool me. And I'm like, oh my god.
Thankfully, I don't play that much Classic, so it doesn't come back to hit me as much.
Yeah, God, but man, it's a shame that I'm on the hook for your bullshit.
Yeah. Anyway,
Alright, I have to quit Minecraft because it's dying on me again. So this is gonna be the end of my Minecraft recording.
Okay. Should we move to recording something else? I don't know what to have on the screen while this is going on.
You can keep playing Minecraft, but my recording is done.
Okie dokie. I can't think what I'd do in Minecraft without you. I mean, I've just been kind of wandering around doing nothing. I guess I'll continue doing that. And we can keep answering questions. So what's the most memorable stab you've been involved in? Do you have one?
Were you involved in that, like, infamous stab on Gug? Or, no, stab on Vash with Gug?
Yes, yeah, that probably would be my answer to that. That was a hell of one. When, we basically forged an entire, like, hour-long conversation or something on Discord to convince this other player that we were going to work with him going forward.
Not just another player, a good friend.
Yes, okay, he is quite a good friend. He's still a good friend, thankfully. Oh my god.
Yeah, somehow.
Yeah. Alright, I just got jump scared by an Enderman. I think I'm going to stay inside. But yeah, that was definitely the most memorable stab, I think. And I've talked about it on the channel before, which is why SEO remembered it there.
Also, that's like the most memorable stab I've ever heard of. Right? That's like my answer to most memorable stab, and I had nothing to do with it. I wasn't in this game. I didn't know any of you guys.
Right, so, yeah. Fair dues. Okay, what is the best and worst stab you've ever made? So this one I'm gonna pass to you, because I've already mentioned the Vash one. I mean...
Well, yeah, and like your worst stab is the one that you got the award for the worst stab on, right? So...
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely up there. I have a lot of worst stabs. You can take your pick. You can basically go to any video that we've done, and I'm sure you could find a worst stab candidate from me that I've been playing in anyway. Yeah, so what would you say your best and worst stabs are?
I've done a lot of stabs in my career, guys. My best stab, like, the thing is, I think my best stab is something that I thought was a stab, but my, like, ally didn't even think was a stab. Right? And it's just like, so I just got along with it. And, like, yeah, that's a tough one, right? Best and worst stab. Like, I've made some also pretty horrendous stabs where, like, I just get absolutely nothing out of it, and I have a terrible position as a result. I've had my fair share of those. So, those, like, one of those would be it. Or, like, oops, I actually just blew up my alliance, and I have nothing to show for it.
Yeah.
And I've done that a couple times at least, so...
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, we don't need to look at specifics, I guess. Those are the kind of stabs that you erase from your mind after you're done, right?
And it's like, I've played a lot of games of diplomacy, guys, so it's tough for me to remember, like, very specifics. I should have the answer to that question. That's a story I should be able to tell.
Okay.
But unfortunately, I can't.
Right. We frequently hear each of you suggesting how you would have done things differently compared to the other. Perhaps most frequently Ezio being dismayed at meme. Is there anything about how you play now that has been influenced by your mutual experiences or by the critique or commentary of the other person? Oh boy. That's a very good question. That's like a question that's difficult because of how good it is. Have I changed my playstyle that much? I feel like the very fact that you still criticize me just as much for it means I haven't, right?
I mean, that's not necessarily true. I could very easily just be incredibly nitpicky.
Yeah, but that's not true, right? You are pulling out like valid criticisms for my play.
I like to think so.
I like to think that I've become a little more c.take.y as a result of the DiploStrats commentaries. But the problem is, like, most of the criticisms you have for my playstyle are because I stab someone at the wrong time, right? I stab too early or I do something like that. And me being more c.take.y doesn't help that in the slightest.
No, it's really the exact opposite, yeah?
Yeah,
It's like, I complain about you not being C dot take dot, and then you do the C dot take dot thing. I'm like, what are you doing? Right? It's like, I assume very annoying to interact with because it feels so crazy. But part of the problem is like I don't actually think about the game as C dot take dot, right? That's like not how it works. It's just like make the good stabs, and then like if there's a good stab here, you should make it regardless of what your alliance was. And that's the fundamental point. Which is harder to get across, I think, in like a single stage. It's like make good plays would be the other way to do it, but that's not like a catchy catchphrase.
Yeah. That that's true. C dot take dot. It's definitely your better work on that front.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm just trying to think on that front because there is. I think I have like leaned into being more stabby as a result of our commentaries. I know it's not exactly what you were looking for from my change of playstyle, but I think it has helped in some respects in that I have been more willing to be a bit more casually stabby as well, which definitely isn't what you were recommending, but has worked out a bit more in that I used to only be willing to stab if I could absolutely justify it. And now, quite often instead, I just go for the stab and think I can make this work later on. Like, I can sort this out later.
Yeah.
And that... It sounds like it shouldn't work, but if you're good enough at talking, it can work.
Yeah, no, I think that's more generally good diplomacy play. And I don't know how much of this is as a result of like meme telling me stuff, but because I just like have changed diplomacy over the years of how it and, like I think analyzing diplomacy has gotten me a lot better at it. And so I don't know if how much I've changed specifically as a result of watching meme play versus how much I've changed my playstyle as a result of analyzing so many games.
Yep.
But definitely, I think that the like annoying small stab, right? Like I'm not fully stabbing this person because I used to be, as me described, like very all in. I will stab this person, and we're at war now, and I will eliminate them from this game because they can't trust me. And I felt like more or less either I stabbed someone or I didn't, and so there was no two ways about it. Whereas I've changed my opinion on that dramatically, and now I recognize there are levels to stabs. There are minor stabs and serious stabs, and I try to do many more minor stabs over the course of a game, or like, and again, calling it a stab is maybe even overstating it, but like I like pissing off my allies, but not having them get so pissed at me that they actually fight me. So my like optimal game is a game where I've have my ally who never attacks me over the course of the game, but is at no point happy with me. And I think that's the sign that I have gotten the most out of that alliance in that game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's a good answer. Even if it's not exactly what they were asking. Yeah. Alright, so broadly, what's the biggest mistake you can make when you're GMing a game of diplomacy?
Inconsistency.
Yeah. That's such a good answer. If you, like... Players feeling that what you're doing isn't justified will be so much more likely if you're not sticking to your decisions, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a consistent GM is more likely to be fair. And like, yeah, people will know what to expect. You can be the most arbitrary and absurd GM, but as long as you're like consistently arbitrary and players recognize that you're just full of shit, that can still work, right? That wouldn't be a game that I would necessarily join, but that's fine. But like sometimes trying to say, oh, this is just the right thing to do and it's fair, and other times being arbitrary and like
whatever. It just, I don't know. Be consistent as a GM. If you've made a ruling in one way, please, for the love of God, do that same ruling. And it's tough because the situations will be different, always. But like, if you've made a ruling once, make the ruling again. And so, advice on being how to be a good GM, it's try to have foresight and to like expect what situations will come up. Like, if you let a player roll a move back in one scenario, it's a tough precedent to set because you're going to be expected to let players roll back their moves in other scenarios. And so, like, that's a particularly scary one to do. I don't know.
Yeah, I think especially with that, there are situations where it's justified, but you have to make it very clear why it's justified and that it's a one-off. Right? With the, specifically, if you're GMing for new players, and it's like 1901, then you go, alright, it's kind of clear what you meant, so I'm going to let you change your order in this case, but that's not going to happen again going forward. Something like that. But generally speaking, if you want to be a good GM, the safest way to do it is just not to ever allow a rollback. And like to stick to the rules consistently. It's not the way everyone will be happiest with you, but it is the easiest way to be consistent and to make sure that it's fair for all the players.
And it feels really bad because, like, hey, they'll have players who are in a thing, and like as GM, you want to do stuff, you have power to make things happen. But just like not doing stuff is very often correct.
Yeah. Absolutely. I'm failing to get out of this water in Minecraft right now.
Got it.
Okay, so moving on to the next question. What would a perfect board look for you? Which players get which countries, the format, etc. That might require more thought than we can give it in this.
Skip.
You want to skip entirely? I would just say it would be like 7 very chaotic players would be my favorite type of board to play.
Look, I mean, my favorite board would have Beyonce, Rihanna, Obama, Trump,
You
some
want
like
Obama
famous...
and Trump on your board? Really?
Yeah, I just want the name the 7 most famous people you can think of in the world and have this game of diplomacy be televised. Because guess who would analyze that game, and which YouTube channel do you think has like the most cred for doing diplomacy analysis? That's right, it's us. And if there's any game that's gonna get our game posted all over YouTube, it's that one. So yeah, that's who I want in that game. Yeah, let's toss Putin in there, because he's famous, and then like Aaron Rodgers. I don't know who's Mahomes. Mahomes is more Travis Kelce. Yeah, Travis Kelce should be.
I have no idea who the last 3 people you talked about.
These are all American football players. One of them is dating Taylor Swift, but because you didn't heard of them, they're all cooked. Yeah, we should just put Taylor Swift in here, obviously.
Okay, I do know who Taylor Swift is. So.
Yeah, I can't be forget with that one. So yeah, put T Swift in here. Whatever. Anyways, that's why we skipped this question. Next.
Alright, fine. Diplomacy is a game that is not designed to be very fun for all participants. Especially the ending of the game can be anticlimactic or disappointing. What have been your favourite cool endings to a game you played that you still remember? And is there a game mode that you've liked because it makes the end game more interesting? Well, my first half of the answer to that is going to be the Meteor Wars game that I talked about, right? Meteor Wars 1. Not going to spoil the entirety of the ending here, but it is to do with stalemate lines, and it gets to the point that you often don't see diplomacy games get to anymore because they're so often time limited. It ends up being super interesting. Is there a style of game that makes the end game more interesting?
Untimed.
Yeah, that's gotta be it. And it takes so much more work to get there, right? But
yeah. But time-limited games have less interesting end games.
Yeah.
Just because once you're looking at the last year of the game, it's like you've lost so much life because there's no more long-term thinking. It's what's going to get me the most centers by the end of this year, and that's just it, right? Okay, sorry. Also, what's going to hurt the other competition for my spot? Okay, sure, but it's like this year is all that matters now. Whereas with untimed games, that never happens because if you ever get too aggressive for a specific position, then you can lose it all. Like we analyzed the longest game of all time because we love this, right? This game can go on forever, and that's cool. So yeah, untimed games lead to more interesting games.
Yes, absolutely agree. All right, what's the best part of the diplomacy community? I'm gonna say the diplomacy community itself. People are awesome. I think I mentioned that in earlier one. The people who stick around after playing diplomacy tend to be incredible. How many hours a week do you spend doing diplomacy-related stuff? That probably varies for the two of us, right?
It does vary a lot based on what I'm in, right? Like if I'm in a tournament game that I care about right now versus if I'm not. I think it like my minimum is like 10 hours a week on diplomacy. Like I think about 2 hour, like 1.5 to 2 hours a day. Nah, it's gotta be more than that, dude. We do the recording a week, and that takes like 3 hours at least.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's like so much that there's no way I can keep track of it. It's less for me now that I'm out of all the diplomacy games, but even with that, I've still got DiploStrats, and I run a bunch of games on the DiploStrats servers, so like, it's a lot.
Yeah, I would say like 15 hours a week is my number.
Yeah, it is more manageable than it sounds because it's all so spread out, right? It's something that you're doing on and off while you're doing other stuff as well. But yeah, it's still a lot. Diplomacy can be quite intensive if you're taking it seriously.
Yeah, and then like when I was on the final boards, right? When I was in the finals of Olympus or when I was playing in the Imperial dip, right? Plus my Spain game and stuff, and I was like very seriously grinding. I was spending 4 hours a day on average, right? Like it's insane how much time I can sink into this. Like I remember I had a Saturday during one of these when I was in both Olympus and the Imp Dip and in the Chaos game, and I had a Saturday where I woke up, I played diplomacy at my computer, I had lunch, and I played diplomacy, and I spent 16 hours that day just chatting to people, sending messages, in all of the different games, because like that's just how much time I needed to spend to get a message out. Like I would have spent more if I could have, but I didn't.
Yeah. I don't want that to scare away people from diplomacy. But yeah, if you're at the highest level, then yes, you will have to spend a lot of time playing the game. This is for beginner games and stuff. You can generally spend as much time as you want to, but bear in mind you will always do better if you spend more time on the game. That's just generally a good rule of thumb.
There's like a little bit of a caveat, right? You don't want to be annoying.
Yes.
And if you're very clearly spending more time than everyone else, it's going to come across as annoying. So, but more is better than less, almost always. And because the people who do well in diplomacy know this, in higher level games, you'll find that everyone is more active. Right? Like, I think I've told this story on the finals, but when I was playing in Olympus finals, these communications were on Discord, and so your Discord activity notification, it was relevant, and so people would see if I was online or not. And so I woke up in the middle of the night one night, and I wasn't even messaging anyone, right? I was just like, I woke up and I turned my phone on, and so my Discord light turned to green, and within 5 minutes of me waking up on Discord, multiple people had messaged me in the middle of the night, right? This is, I think, there in Europe. their European time, and they just saw me be on. But it's like 3 in the morning. My light turned green on Discord, and they sent me multiple pings to just like be excited about it and talk, because that's how active they were. That's how much attention they were paying. And so like if you're in a lot of games like that, it's just gonna take a ton of time.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, next question. The answer is we spend a lot of time on diplomacy, but it's not our full-time job. Neither one of us are doing this for a living.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right. So, how do you balance that with your daily lives? I mean, it's the main hobby that we each have, right? On that front, I think that's fair to say.
Yeah.
That's kind of it. You also need to be aware of your limits and like tone down the number of games that you play if you need to. And also, I would just highly recommend. Okay, what is this? Also, I would like recommend being willing to take it a bit less seriously if you need to at points. That is a way I've managed to fix things a little bit for myself sometimes. Is just taking a step back and going, okay, the game doesn't matter as much as my real life does. I need to take a step back right now and just, like, not care about my results in the game quite as much as I currently am. So, yeah. But outside of that, I think it's just a case of you need to know your limit, and don't join too many games at once. Alright, where are we? How can we bring more of the diplomacy community together? How can we grow the in-person diplomacy community? Raising awareness of it. So there are in-person tournaments that go on all over the world, pretty much constantly. I say all over the world, there are definitely hotspots, but I would highly recommend showing up to one if you've only played online. In person can be fantastic and is fantastic, and you should try out that experience too. It's a fun time, and as mentioned before, people are there because they want to play this game. It's not just you must be hyper competitive in order to be here, or hyper skilled in order to be here. Right. Alright. What will the legacy of diplomacy be in 20 years? Ezio,
Probably the same as this now. The game has been around for so long, I don't think things are changing that much.
Yeah, I think that's probably accurate. I could see it becoming, like, obviously, to some extent it already has. I could see it becoming a little more forefront if more AI research stuff centers around it, because it can very easily be a focus of that kind of thing with large learning models, whatever they're called, the language models even, being at the center of AI. It's quite a good test for that. So if more companies sort of focus on that, then I could see it going a little bit more mainstream, and maybe that impacting its legacy. But in terms of the people who play it for fun, I think it's gonna be more or less the same. It's been around for a long time, and like it's gonna keep being around in more or less the same way.
Yeah.
Do you have a player you enjoy playing with the most, Ezio?
Nah.
No? None at all?
I pick a player I enjoy playing with the most? Come on, that's like, there's so many players out there.
Yeah.
Right? They're all so good. Right? Like,
oh, you're saying I'm not your
was...
favorite player to play with after the Russia
not.
game in Imperial?
Absolutely not, no. Katie was a blast. I enjoyed playing with Katie IRL. She was great.
Casey Gray, right, yeah.
Katie. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a solid answer. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say Salt. As much as as we have the rivalry, it is kind of hilarious how every game that I play with him ends up turning out. Alright.
That's good.
What's the dumbest?
To everyone else that I didn't mention, sorry. I love playing with you all, right? Like Salt, King of Prussia, Downpour, etc. All these people, I love playing with you guys. I'm not gonna list every person I play games with. It's like too many people.
Yeah. I mean, there's obviously a huge number of people that we've both played games with. So it is just gonna be one person that we mention there. What is the dumbest way you've won a diplomacy match? Is that...
There is no dumb way to win a diplomacy match.
That is such a good answer.
If you win,
thank you.
You get a win.
Yeah.
Enjoy your wins and be proud of them. Don't downplay them. Like,
yes. Yeah. That honestly, it's a really fantastic answer. I remember seeing like the Survivor TV series that I was mentioning before is probably very well known in America, maybe not so much outside of it. But there are some winners from that who have mentioned feeling like that they maybe didn't deserve the win that they had. I think you look at that and you go, it is so hard to win this game in general. No matter what approach you take to winning it, if you manage to pull off that win, that is a massive achievement, and not really something to be downplayed. So yeah, the diplomacy is very much the same way. Alright. Okay. I'm gonna... So, where are the damn variant contest videos? Oh boy. Alright. Sorry, what did you say just then?
Sorry, buddy.
Yeah. In fact, actually, I can just, oh, I've got OBS on window capture. Wait, is that... This one's on display capture. Here are where the variant contest videos are, in that file on my computer. But you will note there are only 2 of them, and I think then it will need to be 8 in order to publish that. Those are us going through each individual variant in the variant contest, which will take forever. We're also planning to do like a much shorter thing announcing what our favourite ones are. But it's kind of gotten caught up in my move to another country, right? So it's likely not going to come out immediately. I would give it a few weeks at the least. Sorry about that, all. What are your respective favourite diplomacy variants? Ezio, what's yours?
I think Crazy Italy.
Crazy Italy? Oh, as in, like, where everyone submits orders for Italy?
Yeah. And then you roll a d6 to see what happens to Italy.
Yeah, that is a very, oh, okay, I'm gonna die in Minecarft again.
It's just a minor variant of the standard base diplomacy map, but it works for 6 players, which is nice, because I often don't have 7 people who want to play. And it adds some chaos. I find that it lightens the mood of the evening, because everyone accepts that things are going to be a bit crazy and hectic, and that's a good thing, I find. I find diplomacy works better when it's a lighter, more jokey mood. And I think Crazy Italy accomplishes that really well, in a way that, like, most games don't. But it's still a great game, because it still is diplomacy, right? And, like, most people aren't just, like, giving up on Italy and having it kill itself in the way that people do in some variants. Because, like, everyone wants it to still be chaotic and valuable, so... Yeah.
Yep. Well, I think that's a good answer. I will go ahead and say... which of the 2 do I want to say? I think probably Bourse was my favourite one to play. Which was
great.
Yeah, it was a variant that Ezio played as well, where each individual country has their own currency, and every country is like buying stocks essentially in the other players by buying their currency. And it was initially designed as something that you would have spectators play alongside a game, but I think it works so much better having being played in the way they played it on VDIP, which was they had the players playing boars as well. And so what you ended up having was a bunch of these currency manipulation plans that happen on the board. So people like buying up tons of a person's currency who looks like they're not going to do very well, right? And then giving that person tons of supply centers so that they do very well. And then by the time other people realize what's happening, their currency is skyrocketed in value already, and the other people can't buy in. So yeah, it was just hilarious to play, and it was super interesting to play. There was so many strategies that happened in that game, but it's also really intense to GM. So I don't know that it will happen that often.
Yeah, Force was cool. Force is one that I am hoping to run on DiploStrats at some point.
That would be a fun thing to do. Alright, do you have any favorite mechanics from variants?
They're all great.
I have a very good answer to this, I think, which is the wing unit from Alex Ronk's Dissolution is something I absolutely love and I will never stop talking about. Which is, he essentially has a completely immobile unit called a wing that you can build in a territory, and essentially what building that wing does is it turns that tile into an airport. So you can, with that wing unit, you can convoy units to other airports on the board. And that's... So by building that unit in the first place, you're opening yourself up to being invaded by all the other airports that are on the board, but you're also launching yourself into being able to do that too, right? You now have the ability to interact with all those other airports across the board. It's just hilarious to play, and it's fascinating. There's a few more mechanics to them than what I'm explaining here, but that's the basics. Yeah, I love that one.
Sweet.
So did you have an answer to that one, or were you just going to...
Nah, so many of them are great. Every variant has them, but it's awesome, so...
Yeah.
I don't worry too much.
Alrighty. What's your favorite diplomacy variant to commentate?
I don't know, Imp Dip right now, but whatever, it'll be cool when another one comes out, like, it's fine.
Yeah. I'd agree with it being Imp Dip. I think there's it being a large world map is very, very cool, but also the fact that it looks really nice is a huge benefit for commentating it.
For me, it's not about any of those things. It's that there's a big community. Right, it is our sister community, right? We play with a bunch of people over there, play with a bunch of people on ours, we know them. There's tons of excitement around it. They're working on it actively all the time with new modifications, with the bots. It's a huge thing, and I can see it being serious going forward. Like, it's a big thing, and that's why I love commentating it right now.
Yeah, that's awesome. Is there a Diplo variant that you think is better or has the potential to be better than the original game? That's really tough in what you mean by better, right? Because something like Imp Dip is definitely better in certain ways. Having it be so large and have so many people on the board interacting just opens it up to a completely different style of gameplay. But in other ways, it's going to be worse than classic diplomacy. Like, the fact that you can't maybe directly impact who's going to win on the other side of the board is a bit of a problem compared to classic diplomacy. You know, there's a lot of variants that are better in some respects and worse in others. Alright. How many more of these do you want to do, by the way? Because I realize we're We've not gone that far through. We're like halfway.
I think we should just start trying to not go section by section, like all the questions through, right? Like I plussed some of the questions, right? I think we should try to get to those.
I mean, we could just call it and record the rest of the questions another time.
No, because if we do that, it's going to take us too long, CaptainMeme. We need to accept that we can't be completionists. That's not going to happen anymore.
Oh, alright.
We are too big for that. We can't, like, I regret saying we were going to analyze every variant game, because that was the first time of this, and we can't do every question.
Yeah, alright, fair enough. I'll skip through some of these then. Okay, so, well, I want to answer the next one, but I'm an intermediate level variant designer and know the basics on how to design a good variant map. What are the next steps to improve? Alright, so this is tough on my part, because I'm not a variant designer, and I think Ezio is also not really a variant designer, right?
Yeah, so we can't help. So why are we answering this question? Go talk to people who design variants.
Okay.
You've got place in the Discord.
That's the advice I wanted to give. Go talk to other variant designers, especially I think Flair is always open to DMs, or often open to DMs. And Flair has a great series on designing variants as well on his YouTube channel. I'll link to that in the description below. Alright. What cool period, slash region, slash era, slash conflict has potential to make for a good variant map that hasn't been made before?
I don't know if a variant has been made.
Sorry, what did you say there?
I don't know every variant that's been made.
Well, yeah, that's true. there's a lot of variants out there. But when I think of this, I tend to think of like fantasy series that I'm familiar with that maybe not as many other people are. So things like Discworld was my thought there. But I think you can basically apply that to any fantasy world that you're familiar with, and, like, that's gonna be a very personal thing. There probably is a Discworld variant out there somewhere.
Yeah, I assume the overlap of people who like diplomacy and people like Discworld is not as disparate as one might think.
Yes, indeed. Alright, but yeah, basically go find a niche series or a niche game maybe that you love and use that.
Okay, but I'm gonna go one step further, and I don't think it matters if the variant has already been done, right?
That's true.
Like, if you go back and you look at like periods of Chinese history that people have made diplomacy variants on, you can make a different map. You can make your own variant of it, and it's gonna be different, and it's gonna be great. Like, Imptip is not the first like variant that has colonial nations that's set in the 16 whatevers, right? There have been tons before, but Imptip does it really well, and it's really good, and it's fun, because they care about it, and they put effort into it, and they iterate on it. And they got lucky, and things worked out well. But, like, if there is a variant of a time period that you want to make, you should do it. And it doesn't matter if one exists or not, right? That's why we did our competition.
Yep. Absolutely, that's true. Alright. Would you ever do France versus Austria or any other 1v1 on the channel? Yeah, probably.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'd just be worried that Ezio would win. I'm a very vibes-based player in 1v1, and that doesn't work too well against someone who actually knows what they're doing a lot of the time. Alright, would you ever do a video playing the North Africa diplomacy variant that was actually just normal diplomacy? No, I don't think so, because that is just normal diplomacy. We'd save our things for
actual,
you know, Diplo. Alright. Have you ever had ideas of a variant you'd want to make yourself?
No.
No?
Yes, that's not true. I definitely have, and then I always throw them away immediately because they're always terrible. No, I'm not. I ain't about it.
When like I first started playing diplomacy variants, I wanted to make a Morrowind one, but I couldn't find anything that works because all of Morrowind's like factions are spread out all over the map. Like they're all everywhere, right? There's like little cities and settlements of the different ones inside the other ones, which doesn't really make any sense for a diplomacy map. Yeah, I have a bunch of ideas. I don't want to talk about too many of them in case they actually end up being something that I want to go ahead and make.
I will say all of the variants that I've been interested in creating have not been new maps. They've always been base diplomacy map with rules changes, unit variants, etc. But I don't want to change too much at once, and I want to see how these things work on the base map, and then see how to change stuff from there. But yep.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
Also,
right.
something I realized, we haven't been saying the names of the people who asked the question, have we?
I'll have them on the screen. Don't worry. I'm gonna edit the question into the bottom corner when we.
But I think whenever I see Q&As be done, don't they always say, and now we have this question from Hobbit. And then they say the question. Don't they like always do that?
Probably. Do you think that's essential?
Yes.
I'm gonna put the name in the corner when we talk about it, regardless.
Yeah, the name in the corner is good. Send me the thing, and then we might need to like.
What, dub it in?
Yeah, we might literally dub it in post.
We could potentially do that. Yeah.
Because it's like, we're doing this for the people, right? That's why they want their questions, and like, they will be happier to hear their name in the video.
That's true. Alright.
Yeah, no, I like just realized this as you said that last one, and I was like, wait a minute, I didn't hear the person. It's like, I don't care, right? I'm just listening for the question, right? But the viewers care.
Yeah. I can't really like have the thing open that far to the left, if that makes sense. Like scrolled far enough to the left to see the person's name and see the question on my screen. Because I can't really tab out because I'm the one playing Minecraft, right? It would just pause every time I have to go to the next question.
And you only have one monitor.
Well, no, I have two, but the second monitor here is, well, I mean, one of them is a bit broken right now, but the second monitor is it's just not large enough to show the entire question and the person's name. But yeah, anyway, Jozil asks, would you ever consider commentating a game of the Milan variants? I would love to hear your perspectives on how the map changes impact the infamous hegemony of France, and how Italy and Austria have less tension by separating their home supply centres, and how the usual stalemate line is affected. It's definitely an option. The Milan variant is something that's interested me in the past. But it's just like we've got so many variants to look at, the one that only mildly modifies the classic variant isn't that high up on the list, I think. And we might want to prioritize the one that Ezio loves of removing Portugal, first and foremost. But yeah. I put it's an interesting idea, and I put it on the list of things to do. I've always been kind of fascinated by the like variants that have been designed to try and change Italy and Austria's relationships. I don't know if you have other views on that, Ezio, or whether you're good with that.
Yeah, if you want to go just do host a tournament of it, and then we will do the post. So
yeah,
make a tournament. True. We'll do the finals. We'll analyze the finals.
that would be cool. All right. Ezio or Meme, who will win an Imp Dip game? The answer is both of us. We have both won Imperial Diplomacy games.
Yeah. So both of us, CaptainMeme soloed his. So depends on how you define win.
Yeah.
But both of us got dubs.
If we were both in the same game, I think you'd be more likely to come out with a win than me. But we are both Imperial Diplomacy winners.
Yeah, and it'd be tough. We'd be doing some nonsense. Also, remember when I said we like shouldn't just go row by row and answer every question?
Yeah. Well,
Okay,
I'm not
well,
going row by row here. I skipped one.
oh, wait, I didn't.
Well,
Whatever, it's fine.
I've skipped quite a lot of the variant ones. We're in the Imp Dip one section.
Yeah. Alright, anyways, that's great. Okay, cool. Yes, we both won. That's fine. Alright.
Yeah. Alright.
That's the question you want to answer, Captain Meme.
Well, the next one is the next row, but it's...
I'm so glad.
Whether or not you'll make videos from it, do either of you plan to play Imp Dip subvariants? So those are the variants of Imperial Diplomacy that take place on a smaller part of the board, or that use different like country starts or stuff like that.
And that was the question from Not Us.
Yes, indeed. Thank you. So I am interested in those. As mentioned, I've got quite a lot going on at the moment, so I don't know whether it will be anytime soon, but I am curious about it, so I might join at some point. That said, there are a lot of variants to look at, right? So, I would be very happy to give it a shout out, though, here. If you are interested in playing those kind of Imp Dip subvariants, you can go to the Imperial Diplomacy Discord server, and there's a subvariants channel you can look at. Alright. So, as of writing this question, the Imp Dip Discord server has 350 more people than the DiploStrats one. Don't you think that needs to change?
Oh yeah, it does.
That's because I'm really bad at plugging my own things. As Ezio has repeatedly informed me.
Incredibly tilting, you guys.
Look, it just feels kind of cringeworthy to plug your own stuff, right? Whereas I'm very happy plugging other people's.
Okay, but also
yes.
We accept that people that go into our Discord server end up playing Diplomacy in real life. And we want more people to play Diplomacy in real life. And so the simplest way to accomplish that, and also happen to make our channel bigger, is to plug our channel.
Yeah, that is true. So I will go ahead and unplug it here. The Discord server is a cool place. You should go check out our Discord server and help us beat Imperial Diplomacy. If, like, 350 of you have made it this far into the video and aren't part of the Discord server already, then maybe that'll help. Alrighty. So, what's your biggest / favorite stab you can remember doing in Imperial Diplomacy? I don't know if it really counts as a stab. Oh my god, these zombies are so fast.
Who asked that question, Captain?
That was...
Jake is who asked that question.
Yes. Sorry, I'm trying not to die, but I've failed.
Yeah. Unfortunate.
Well, do you have an answer to that question, Ezio? I mean, these will be... We've covered almost every Imperial Diplomacy game we've played, right?
Yeah.
On the channel.
Well, like, I just feel like I didn't do that much stabbing in my Imp Dip game. I was like... Right? I was playing people off of each other. Like, I'm happy about the turn when I went to war with Mapuche in my game. And it was like, we'd been at peace, and then we were going to go to war, and everyone knew it was going to happen. And then I predicted his moves, and then I made a good tactical play to get a nice convoy off. Right? Yeah. That one I'm proud of. That one was good. It's just like, is it a stab? Like, we were all going to fight. Everyone knew we were always going to fight, so... But, hey.
Yeah, it still
you?
counts. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine, I'd say probably in my Spain game, when it was the France-Netherlands-Spain alliance at the start that was sort of dominating everything, and then I got the stab in that kind of upset that balance of power. That's the one I'm most proud of, I think.
That's good.
Alright. Is Imperial diplomacy the future of the hobby? Imperial diplomacy is a future of the hobby. I think they've done really well, and I can see it growing even more in future. It's not like the future in the sense that it'll replace standard entirely, right? It's a new thing, and it will have its place alongside it, and that's really how it should be, in my opinion, anyway. But yeah, I think it will have a great future, and the fact it's managed to grow this much is fantastic.
Yep, I agree. I think standard diplomacy is always going to have its place, right? Trying to get 25 people together to play a game of Imp-Dip live in person just sounds insane. They're trying to do that, right, is in one of the tournaments, I forget which one, but like there's some tournament in the East Coast where they're trying to run live game, so that's really cool.
Yeah, Carnage
but like,
of Vermont.
Yeah. So that's great, but also that sounds really hard. So we'll see how it goes. And as a result, Classic still only needs 7 people. It's still great. The stalemate lines that people hate about Classic, I think, help give it staying power. But Imp-Dip doesn't have those. I think throwing makes people too tilted, and throwing is a much bigger problem in Imp-Dip than it is in any other variant I've seen. So they gotta figure something out about that to make it work forever, I think.
That makes sense. Alright, question for me on this. Why isn't CaptainMeme mentoring someone in the Imp-Dip Mentors game? I actually was invited to. I was just too busy with everything that's happening in life now. But related to that, the next question from Cole. Ezio, how is the Mentors game from the perspective of a mentor? Do you think it's accomplishing its stated goals?
Yeah, I don't know what its stated goals were, if I'm being honest.
I was like, people, right?
Yeah, but like, is that it? 'Cause if that's it, that people are in fact getting mentored. Yeah, so it's accomplishing its stated goals. But it's fun. It's like, it's weird, right? Trying to give advice to someone, right? And like, I'm trying to figure like the balance of like how much advice do I want to give to help him be better at diplomacy, and how much do I want to give advice that's like very specific. Let's try to win this game, because these are two slightly different things. I'm frustrated with myself because a lot of my advice boils down to, hey, just send more messages to people, which is like not very helpful, but I think it is really helpful. But it's just like, yeah. So, yeah.
Fair.
It's great. I'm having a good time with this game, and I think we're gonna win. So
Nice.
You can take that to the bank.
All right.
I don't think we're gonna win, but I'm showing a strong spirit. I believe.
All right. Well, good luck, Ezio's mentee, and I mean you as well, Ezio. I hope
I'm not doing anything, right? I just sit there and say, "Yo, send more messages."
Fair enough. Alright. So, what Imp-Dip country that you haven't played looks the most fun to each of you, and why? From Could Be
Sweden. Sweden, because it's Sweden.
Oh boy.
I want to play Sweden.
So I've already played Sweden. And in fact that is going to be our next Imperial commentary, I think. I don't know when that will happen, because obviously everything going on. But there is a Sweden game that will happen, that will get commentated from me at some point. So I have played that, and I can confirm Sweden is very fun to play. I would say Tokugawa I want to play. I really love the idea. I kind of hate the idea of being next to a high seas zone. And I would really like to see how that plays out. Did you have a reason for Sweden, by the way? Like, a specific one?
I picked Stockholm in the
yeah.
massive game.
Is it because you are part Swedish?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, my family's from Sweden. My dad's from Sweden. My grandparents lived in Sweden. My cousins are in Sweden. Yeah. That's why I want to be Sweden.
I see. Yeah, I mean, that's fair enough. Right, and yeah, will non-blitz Imperial diplomacy commentaries appear again in future? Absolutely. As mentioned, there is a Sweden one that will happen at some point. All right.
Soon, TM.
Yeah. So, you guys mentioned that you played Town of Salem. What's yours favorite roles and favorite game mode, and has playing Town of Salem helped you get better reads on whether people are telling the truth or not in diplomacy? Ezio, I think you
absolutely not. Yeah, I have no idea. I don't think Town of Salem has helped me figure this out at all. Absolutely no clue. And this is from the Shadow Guy. Sorry.
Yes.
This first thing I asked.
Yeah.
My favorite role is the investigator. Or lookout. Sorry, lookout is the one. I forget what they're called in the thing, but the one who knows if people visited someone. I love that role. I visit. It doesn't tell me everything all the time. It's not super game breaking, but it is really fun. And I've had some big plays with the lookouts in games of Mafia in the past. I remember having a particular game of Mafia where the entire Mafia team visited someone in a particular night because everyone had powers and that's what they were doing.
And then you just instantly win if you're the lookout, right?
Yeah, we learned a ton.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I'm just trying to remember where we would have mentioned that, having played Town of Salem before, because I haven't played Town of Salem in like more than half a decade, I think. Man, but it's a fun game. My favorite mode was all any, definitely. I love the chaos, and my favorite role was always transporter, because I would try and get the mafia members to kill themselves, and sometimes it works. It's awesome when it does. Yeah, did you have anything more you want to say on that one, or shall I move on?
I don't know that much. I've played some Town of Salem, but like mostly I just played Mafia in forums. I played a little bit of Town of Salem, and I had a blast.
Yeah.
I didn't like the all any modes. I liked the ones where it was like they weren't the most restrictive. Like you had a solid amount of variance, and then there was one any rule in there. But mostly it was like there's a set number of town investigatives, and then like Mafia killing, and then neutral parties. So you could like make deductions as the game went on, and I really appreciated those parts.
Yeah.
But the chaos is fun too.
That makes sense. I was always more in it for the chaos. I should say, has playing Town of Salem helped you guys get better reads on whether people are telling the truth in diplomacy or not? Absolutely, absolutely not. All it's done is make me more aware of people being quiet, because that's how you win in Town of Salem. You just don't say anything, and then people forget that you exist.
That's a better strategy in Survivor than it is in diplomacy.
Yes.
Yeah, in diplomacy it pays to be pushy and to ask people who aren't even close to you, just, hey, do you want to do this thing that helps me? And be surprised how often people just say yes. But, yeah.
Yeah. Alright, so, have you played or do you plan on playing Silk Song? That one's from Shortcake. I do not. I didn't finish Hollow Knight, so I still need to do that, and I've heard that Silk Song is really hard. Is this something you've played, Ezio?
I have not.
Okay, I'm sorry all, we're not on the Salt Song hype train, but I massively respect everyone who is, and I hope you enjoy the game. Alright, in your video on Discovery of Ecos, this is from Anonymous, Ezio mentioned the phase spiders from Baldur's Gate 3. What other video games do you guys play? Well, no secret we've both played Baldur's Gate 3 then, I guess.
Yeah, we talked about it. Yeah, I mean, I mentioned some of my main ones earlier. StarCraft 2 and like the custom games therein. I play a lot of. I play a lot of Beat Saber. Both CaptainMeme and I have played a good amount of Beat Saber.
Yep. I'm better at it.
I mean, okay, actually, have you kept playing over the past years?
Because
I've really fallen off.
I don't have a big enough apartment to play at the moment, which is very sad.
That sucks. I've gotten back in these past couple weeks, and I beat Airborne Robots again recently.
Okay, maybe you are better than me, actually.
But I don't think I'm gonna, I haven't tried that All the Kingsmen one again. That 10 point. But anyways, so Beat Saber, I love RTSs in general, I love RPGs in general. Yeah, I don't know. I like games.
Yep. At the moment, I've just been playing a ton of, friend swap games, so things like Repo and Peak, and, what's the other one? Lethal Company? Just because most of my time playing games has been play games with friends, and those games are insanely fun to play with friends. But, yeah, they're not generally my go-tos. My favorite type of games are usually things like Outer Wilds, so exploration or discovery or investigation. I love those games. Are you going to analyze Veilfisk's upcoming video on the diplomacy-adjacent game of Campaign for North Africa? No. Next question. Okay, Rick and Anonymous. Excluding diplomacy, what's your favorite board game?
Brass Birmingham?
Oh, interesting. I've never actually played that one. I don't know very much about it.
Could be Twilight. Twilight Imperium's pretty great. Twilight Imperium is much more similar to diplomacy, so they scratch similar itches, but Brass Birmingham scratches a very different itch, but it's great. I play a lot of board games. I absolutely love them. So
yeah.
But I just love games in general. I play a ton. Brass Birmingham is a great one. Twilight, Terraforming Mars is a big one. People love a lot. The Game of Thrones board game is solid. People played some fun mods of that one. Dominion's top tier. Etc. So,
Yep. I'd say my...
Oh, Coup was great. Sorry.
Which one was great? Sorry.
Coup.
Oh, yes. Good times. My second favorite... I mean, my favorite game probably isn't actually diplomacy when it comes down to it. Because,
we're not allowed to say that.
The thing is, when I play board games, I'm generally not playing competitively, I'm playing with friends. And if I'm playing with friends, I'm not playing diplomacy most of the time. Because I'd like to keep those friends. And my IRL friends are often not the kind of people who want to play diplomacy. But in that respect, my favourite board game outside of diplomacy would be, Ticket to Ride Europe, maybe? I really enjoy that game, and it's much more, laid back, than something like diplomacy is. Yeah. I also just really enjoyed Pandemic Legacy when I played that through, but it's been a very long time since I did now. Alright. That one we've kind of covered already, I guess. Are you really quitting making League of Legends content? I'm sorry, yes, the people just wouldn't negotiate enough for it to be worth it. Do you play Geometry Dash? From a Geometry Dash obsessed fan. I've tried it once, I was terrible at it, I will never go back. But I am familiar with a lot of the tunes because as Ezio was mentioned. We both play Beat Saber, and there's a lot of cross-pollination between, like, rhythm games on that front. Alright.
Can I play Geometry Dash in browser?
You can probably. I've got it on Steam, but I imagine it'll be in browser as well.
Does it cost money?
No idea. Are you wanting to put Geometry Dash on in the background right now?
Dude, I'm going insane, man. We have been answering questions for too long.
Very fair. Look, we're getting through them. We're nearly at the last category. But yeah. Okay, moving on. Cole asks, this was aimed at me, but I think it applies to you as well. What has been your best Mega Game experience / memory? Because you've played Mega Games as well, right?
Yes, I have. Only the one, like, I played the same one a couple times, but it was great.
Yeah, you played Watch the Skies, right? Which I have not played. That's the one that Shut Up and Sit Down did where there's an alien invasion going on.
Yes.
Do you have a favorite memory from that?
Yeah. So, I did two. One of them we were China, one of them was South Africa. In the South Africa game, we had established some relations with some aliens, relatively early, compared to the rest of the map. And, like, we had friendly relations with one group of aliens from the start, and so they set up, these, like, they were called indoctrination camps, in South Africa, and this freaked out the rest of the world about it. But, like, they just made our country way better. They were nuts. But people, like, went and blew them up, and they thought that we'd all been mind-controlled by these aliens as a result of this. And like, I was going around asking anyone if they wanted to go get abducted and go talk to the aliens, and all of the world leaders were very scared by this. And so they started spreading the memo that I was getting mind controlled to everyone, and even my own people on my team thought I had been mind controlled. And what they didn't tell me was that, like, hey, you're, like, I was sent to go up there to negotiate with them and to get back some top powerful alien, like, energy and material stuff. And they're like, if you don't, like, they didn't tell me this, but they're like, look, if Marcus doesn't get this back, because he's pretty good at getting deals done, if he doesn't get anything back, he's been mind controlled and we're done. I came back, of course, with the goods that I'd set out to get, and everything was great, and we were having a great time. And they're like, oh, he's probably actually just stone cold sober. And so what I had learned was that my counselor was at the UN and was just filibustering, stalling the meeting because you were going to get kicked from the UN. And so I show up to the UN and I, like, actually just drop in this energy material, which everyone thinks is a bomb that I'm going to use to destroy the UN. So they abandon ship. They don't kick us out, and nothing happens. And this was the last turn of the game. And it was great.
Fantastic. Oh my god. My own favorite Mega Game experience is from Den of Wolves, which was one I played that was sci-fi. But I don't want to talk about it here because it's going in a video. It's going in the next video, I think, that we make. So
yeah,
hopefully you will get to see it. There is a particularly incredible moment that I caught on film while I was vlogging, basically.
Okay, there is a wolf attack ongoing. I'm stuck on the council ship. The Aegis just jumped without us. We are on the icebreaker right now. I need to get back to the Endeavour before they make that jump, or I will not go with them.
It was just far and away my favourite moment that's ever happened. Alright. How would you recommend people get involved with the Mega Game community? There's a Mega Game assembly calendar that you can check out online that basically keeps track of all the Mega Games going on everywhere in the world. Look at that, see if there's one in your area. If there isn't, I'm really hoping to run some online on the Discord server at some point, so if there's interest, we can do that. But again, that won't happen for a little while yet. Alright. So, going into the next... the final category of questions. I'm gonna skip over a bunch of these, sadly, because we don't we don't really have time for too many.
Okay, but these are also the best questions.
Oh, okay. Do you want to choose the questions here that you...
Okay, yeah, I got this one. Okay, so, from Frank, the question, trains? Trains.
I like trains.
Yeah, trains. How do you charge your phones? This question's from Anonymous. The answer, we plug them in, and then electricity flows into the phone, and then due to some chemical reactions with the battery, stuff gets weird. Alright, it's crazy.
Really? I get on a horse and I just, like, tell it to ride at it.
That's incredible, and I would love to learn more at a later date. This question is from one of my personal favorite people I've ever played Imp with, Walking Sophie. What is your favorite shape, and why is it the square? Because you told me it was the square. That's why it's my favorite shape.
It's Squaris. It's from Seven Dog.
Perfect sense. All right, this one is from Luck AC69. Should we kill Reams? I think you know the answer to your own question, and I appreciate you asking it. We have a question from Not That Guy, Novel Pond, and I suspect he is in fact lying to us, and this was submitted by Novel Pond, but he says it's not, so we'll see. The question, CNA when? That's right, just a week away. I got bad news, though. That question was submitted on September 9th, and it is currently September 24th, which indicates that CNA was not, in fact, just a week away. It was, at minimum, 3 weeks away. So, that's fine.
That's still just a week away.
It could still just be a week away.
Yeah.
So, we have this question from Pepsi, Opto. When will you be handing over your channel to Veilfisk? As soon as he hands over his channel to us, I would be happy to do a channel swap. Also a Patreon swap. That would be great. I think that's a fair deal, because we know he wants to do more diplomacy content, but is just constrained by his name. So, great. Okay, next question from Depu. Depo? Probably Depo. Would you eat a Hawaiian pizza? Yes, because if I'm eating a Hawaiian pizza, I would be in Hawaii, and that would be great. And I would love to do that.
They don't just serve Hawaiian pizzas in Hawaii. I'm sorry to tell you this.
No, but see, by my definition of Hawaiian pizza, it's a pizza served in Hawaii. Therefore, I would be in Hawaii while eating it. Therefore, yes, I would. I love going to Hawaii.
I see.
We have a question from Anonymous. Will you have a new source of sirens in the USA? CaptainMeme, you've got to answer this one. I don't know how many sirens there are going to be.
The answer is no. Instead, you are probably going to get very loud train horns. Because
hell yeah.
That is something that my fiance's apartment is kind of close to a train line, and it turns out that American trains are incredibly long, and they honk constantly when they're going through a town. I don't understand it at all, but yes, that may be the new noise.
Hell yeah.
We'll see.
Alright, so we've got a bunch of questions from astronauts. I'm going to pick my favorite. How many carrots do you think you could eat in one sitting if you were forced to? I think the answer is more than you. We have this question from Mamroth. In real life, would you prefer to live as a peasant in Austria-Hungary? What? Where would you prefer to live as a peasant in Austria-Hungary? Whoa.
I don't know enough about Austria-Hungary to answer that.
Is Trieste part of Austria-Hungary? Is this like modern? This is surely historical Austria-Hungary, because Austria-Hungary is not a country anymore.
Yeah. I would prefer not to live as a peasant.
Yeah, same.
Just
Alright, great. Okay, from Evan Chow. Do you guys like PAL, an alliance where no members stab each other? Any stabs that do occur were arranged by the alliance. There are no conflicts in PAL, and Africa's united front, ready to meet any foreign invaders.
That's a spoiler. We can't air that.
Well, that's sweet. Alright, we've got this question from Quaza, which is, how does CaptainMeme's voice sound so cool?
Is that one for
know.
you to answer or for me?
I mean, the more you talk, the better off we are. And so I'm sorry to all you guys for needing to hear me talk a lot. But we all know that Captain Meme's voice is the reason this channel has been so successful.
Yeah, it's solely that. There's nothing else.
Yeah, that's really it.
But if you want some kind of serious answer to that question, it's because my parents tried to make me talk in a different accent to the one that I would naturally get in the region I was brought up in. So I have some kind of weird hybrid accent. That plus I just have a naturally deep voice, which is always a nice thing to have.
All right. Oh, sorry, this is also from Astronaut. Sorry, you asked too many questions. A couple of them are great, but we gotta skip them for time. When is Ezio getting a real mic? I have a real mic. The problem is my voice is shit. And I've moved too much. And so my mic needs to be far away to keep it relatively stable, because otherwise there's way too many inconsistencies. It's a real problem.
It's also because we record Ezio's voice on my side of Discord, primarily because Ezio fidgets too much, and therefore the microphone is too sensitive on his side and picks that up. So it needs to go through noise suppression, which means you're hearing him already having gone through noise suppression, which is why it sounds a little bit worse.
Yeah, but also, when you hear my voice next to Captain Meme's voice, it's no competition.
Alright, hang on. You're not skipping the third favourite bird question. I have an answer prepared to that.
Okay, great. From Jacksonians on X?
Yep.
Jacksonian Sun X. Jacksonians on X? I don't know. Anyways, that one. Captain Meme, what's your third favorite bird?
Oh man, that's a super interesting question that I hadn't thought about before right now. I will say the cardinal. Because I genuinely do have two birds that solidly place above that, and the cardinal was just an awesome bird that I saw when I went to the States that was actually properly red. And in the UK we don't have red birds, that's just not a thing. Everything that is supposedly called red, well, okay, maybe bullfinch aside, everything that's called red, like the red kite, or even the European robin, is actually orange. Alright, so that's my answer to that one.
I'm glad you got your answer. Alright, when will Ezio get married? Gotta get a girlfriend first. So, are you single and are you interested? Next, we got Walrus, your bucket list. That's too long. I got things on my bucket, and unfortunately there's a hole in it, so we're screwed. Alright, a question from Anonymous. Favorite thing to do when not gaming? For me, it is reading on a beach. How about you, Meme?
I mean, honestly, I really enjoy making these videos, so I will say that.
Sweet.
Yep.
Alright, is Ezio single? Sadly, yes.
I'll take the gay awakening question.
Oh, you want it? Hell yeah.
Yeah.
What
Who was my gay awakening? For those of you who grew up in the UK, you may be aware of a Captain Jack Harkness from Doctor Who. That was the earliest person I remember having a crush. Alright, that's that question done.
Hell yeah. It is not applicable to me, unfortunately. I'm about as straight as it comes in the real world. But everyone's a little bit bisexual. Just remember that. So, I'm saying there's a chance. Alright, why did I plus this question at some point? Oh, yes, the Pebble Institute. How would you feel if, hypothetically, someone cited you in an academic work and, again, speaking purely in possibilities, in the bibliography, sandwiched between an article by E. Bellew and a philosophy book by Jesper Juhl, was a Reddit post credited to Captain Meme?
Okay, I think you plus this because I said I wanted to answer it, right?
That's I think I plus this one because it seems funny as shit.
Yeah. I really like that idea. I would really like to hear about, well, to see that when it gets published, for one. A Reddit post being in there, I'm also trying to think what Reddit post could you possibly have used that would be worth doing that for. Yeah, I am super interested, but also I do get to boast here for a moment. I am cited in many scientific works. I'm cited in like 300 because of the Cicero project with Meta AI. So I'm cited everywhere, but I've never been cited as Captain Meme. So if you do that, that will be a first.
Hell yeah. Alright, and then I think we're back to questions we've already got.
Yeah, that is everything. Alright. Well, anything you want to say before we wrap up, Ezio?
Next time, we're not going to answer all the questions.
Did you enjoy Minecraft?
No.
Alright, that's it. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. We'll see you next time.